This live. I'll be right back. I found this music on the royalty free section and I was like, yes, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want.
Usually, yes, this definitely
Mm-hmm.
fits perfectly.
Well, it sort of does.
It fits pretty well.
Yeah. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna completely mute the stream, so that the stream can't actually hear us, so that way we can keep talking.
Right.
I believe the stream should be unmuted now, so we're just sitting around waiting. We're supposed to start in about
Waiting
5
for
minutes.
One last player.
For our last member, who should be here in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So how was you guys' day going?
Surprise, it's a holiday in Germany that I didn't learn about until I was about to start work.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
What holiday is it?
no idea. I was just told it was a holiday, which meant I didn't have work today. At 7:45 in the morning, when I work at 8.
I have Hobo's on watching the stream. Hobo, is our audio okay? Is the mix okay? Hopefully the music isn't loud to the point where it's overshadowing our voices. We're streaming on a new Roll20 system today, so might be a bit of starting trouble compared to our normal streams. Wait for a response from Hobo. Man, I've had a long day. You can't really hear the music actually, huh? Wow, apparently the stream can't hear the music. It's okay now? But if it's soft, okay, then I'll have to increase it on my end. See what I can do for that.
Oh, wait, I should probably pull up my character sheet.
Is that better?
Yeah, that'll help.
Yeah, it might help.
Is the music on stream better, Hobo? Decreased it a notch, okay. How's that? I increased it by 2 notches, decreased it a notch. Yeah, I just decreased it a notch. Okay, she says it's good now. Alright, and it's not blasting my eardrums out. Is it okay for the two of you? Alright.
So, I've never really experimented with D&D Beyond before.
In what way?
In just like messing around with the character sheets and changing the style.
Right, yeah.
So I did that because I got bored the other day.
Yeah, I noticed you have a really cool frame. It's like a spinny frame.
Yeah.
I was trying to mess around with you know how for Legends we have the campaign character information whenever we stream for Legends of Granada, sorry, Adventures in Granada, we have the character information popping up at the side. I was trying to set that up for this, but because of the fact that the characters in here are in the shared campaign, it's really hard for me to go through and select the individual characters to share the information. So I might fix that for next session, we'll see how it goes, but right now as it is, it's not really working. Oh, we're 2 minutes away from starting. Yeah, he's gonna show up right on the...
No, he's doing this on purpose.
He's definitely
At this
doing this on
point,
purpose.
He's gonna show up at the second, or it's gonna be the last second of the minute.
Like,
It's
I'm early.
Huh? Yeah.
He's gonna show up like a second before, and then he's gonna be like, "What are you talking about? I'm early."
Because he's Luke. Alright, I'm gonna refresh my Twitch mod views really quick because they're lagging for whatever reason. There you go.
God. I just looked at the character sheet and I was surprised. I was like, wait, I thought I had a +0 to stealth, not a +1. And then I remembered that this is Ulysses and not the other paladin that I've made.
Fair enough.
That was confusing to me. I was looking through all the characters and I was like, why do you have 2 paladins on this campaign? and Luke has like 3.
Yeah.
You guys
There's
just
paladin mood.
you guys just create like all the characters you can on the campaigns that I set up, and it confuses the hell out of me.
Well, it's because that's the only place where we can kill all this stuff.
That is fair. Time to shame. Oh, it's time to shame. Shame him.
Shame him.
Shit.
Where is he?
Why is he on his phone now? He probably want to go take a leak or something.
He usually has like Roll20 up on his PC and Discord up on his phone.
Late to the first session of our new campaign.
Come on. He was 10 seconds before he officially late.
No, it's actually he's late now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me 10 minutes. I'm making something to eat. I thought we started an hour from now. I'm sorry. Sure. I mean, he's the only one who actually lives in the time zone that we plan in, right?
Yeah.
No, I think he lives an hour ahead, doesn't he?
Oh, that would make sense.
GMT+1.
Okay, then that would make sense why he got it wrong. Okay, fair enough. Sure.
But also, I'm like an hour after him, so I'll say a time, and it'll be an hour off than his.
Fair enough. All right, then tell you guys what. I am just going to we'll take off the pregame and we'll start introducing what we're doing here until Luke gets in. So both for a couple of our friends on Twitch who are watching, and also for those who are going to be eventually watching this on YouTube, this is effectively a new game that we are experimenting with. Is that the right word to use here? This campaign, Swords of Verlis. I'm going to reduce the audio really here. I mean, the music really here, so I can talk over it a bit more. But okay, so this campaign called Swords of Verlis was basically the brainchild of the players. Interestingly, not the DM, of what would happen if you had a party based on paladins, and all the paladins in this party all had interconnected backstories. So the players approached me and said, hey, we have this really cool set of characters. They're all paladins. They all have backstories that are connected to each other. Do you want to run this game for us? And I was like, fuck yes. So that's effectively what Swords of Verlis is. So let's go ahead and move to a world introduction first, since we're waiting for Luke anyway. So, this is a very rudimentary map. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, there we go. So, Verlis is this green section on the map. It's a state that is a, well, kingdom. It's the kingdom of Verlis. And it's fairly peaceful. It is fairly new as well. It's less than a century old, with only 2 kings in its lineage. It was formed through the rite of conquest. Well, our story actually begins in the northern region of Jormungandr, with its capital of Love. This is a more established kingdom, a typical male preference monarchy that has, as of recent years, come under some political upheaval of sorts, and we'll be getting into that later when we get into character introductions. And to the south, we have the regal conservation of Pearl, which is a country that's militarily speaking less powerful, but still very much its own regal monarchy. We also have 2 slightly less important geopolitical regions that we may or may not see come into play over the course of this game. We have the Principality of Canayosia to the northwest, and we have the Duchy of Todunea just straight up north and west of the region of Jormungandr. So, this world is, if you're familiar with the other games that we run on Chaotic Stupid, this is not a world that is used before here. It's not Granada, it's not any of our other worlds, it's definitely not Faerun. It is what I would like to call a low development, high fantasy setting. We're talking kind of similar to real world's Christian Dark Ages is where this story is set. And let's see, we're gonna give Luke a bit of time, but let's start with just a brief character introduction. Millie, what is your character? Who are they, and what is some basic information about them?
Plain Lark. They are a half-changeling paladin noble who is a, well, not quite a princess of Jormungandr, as she is an illegitimate child of the old king. And now she wishes for her revenge against her stepmother and get her rightful place on the throne.
Fair enough. What's her? What's she look like?
She looks like a knight, I guess, with white hair and one gray eye and one white eye.
All right. One second, I'm replying to Luke.
Thought you were writing down notes or something.
Changeling princess with a crass attitude. Yes. The wild child of the palace. And now of wherever we're from.
Fair enough.
Wherever we've been living for the last 10 years.
We'll get to that in a second. And you do know where we've been living. We went over this in session 0.
Town name.
Ulysses, who are you?
Alright, Ulysses is a half-elf noble paladin who grew up in a very abusive home, and at the age of 16 got shipped away to a temple basically 2 countries away from his home. When he got there, he was meant to train to become some sort of priest or something, but he really didn't want to. So he left in search of somebody to train him to become a warrior, and eventually he finds Guy's character, who we'll get to when he shows up, who is already training Lurk, and Guy's character agrees to take Ulysses on.
Fair enough.
He is a, I guess, slightly above average height, blonde half-elf who carries around a big-ass sword.
Cool.
And is cocky as shit.
Cocky as shit. Now, if that's not a character trait, I don't know what is. Now, we'll wait for Luke's character to come in, but before Luke comes in, just to point out, Millie, or rather Lark, is from the capital of Jormungandr, which is Lauf, and Ulysses is from the Regal Conservation of Pearl down south. Where Lark has been training under Luke's character is in this town right here called Periphery. If I just zoom in a little bit, it is right on the border between Jormungandr and Verlis, right here. Yeah, there you go. It is on the main road between the 2 capitals. From Verlisia, typically if you wish to hit to Lauf, you would hit north and then east through Lozilk and Periphery, and then from Periphery you hit north through Freenau and then on to Lauf. So, let me zoom back out. Now, I guess we're waiting.
Now we go back to waiting.
Now we go back to waiting. Well, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Some out-of-game information. This is the time slot at which we plan on running and streaming this game each week. We currently have plans to run it for a minimum of, what do we say, 10, 12, 13 sessions? Something like that. But we might take it longer than that if things turn out right. Beyond that, this is D&D 5th edition. There will be a minor assortment of homebrew rules thrown in specifically when it comes to revival. Basically, death is a bit more punishing in our rules than it is in normal D&D 5e, so that it incentivizes play characters not wanting to die a lot more. That being said, for the most part, our rules are going to be consistent with that of 5th edition, and there are very minor changes here and there. The main change is really to do with natural 20s and natural 1s. And this is actually odd, but what we are doing is we are following the vanilla rules for nat 20s and nat 1s. A lot of DMs like to say that nat 20s are automatic successes in every single thing. However, natural 20s are only really successes when it comes to attack rolls and saving throws and so on. When it comes to ability checks and stuff like that, what we're going to be saying is that a natural 20 is you definitely are not failing, but it might not give you a full, what you consider a critical success, depending on the situation. For example, you can't say, I want to recall information about a country that you've never been to, and you roll a natural 20, and then I'm not going to tell you their inner political structure of sorts. Instead, you would have read a book and you remember everything that you read in that book fairly well. Stuff like that. Things that make common sense. Other than that, I don't think we have anything. I guess we're just waiting. Oh, there he is! Perfect on time!
About time.
Oh, I'm
Perfectly 10 minutes late.
sorry. Perfect 10 minutes late.
Come on, roll 20, buddy.
Aye.
You were on here earlier and then you left.
I was, yeah. I left 'cause I didn't
The
want
stream
that
saw your
back.
beautiful face and then you left.
Yeah, my beautiful face. My beautiful, beautiful face.
By the way, because it's a new Roll20 game, the audio might be a bit loud for you. Go ahead and turn that down if you need to.
Aye. Alright, sorry for late. I genuinely thought this was an hour later, and I was like, oh, time to go make food before the game starts. And I was like, oh wait, game started. Shit.
No worries.
I tried to be responsible, but I failed.
You're all good. On that note, actually, since everybody else is giving a character introduction, Luke, why don't you introduce who your character is? Dane the Great.
Yes, Dane the Great. So, Dane is a older half-orc. He is pale white, sort of like a quasi-albino, but minus the red eyes. Quite tall, about 6'3", 6'4". Quite muscularly built, but he's definitely beginning to show his age. He's an older orc, kind of graying, wrinkles, things like that. Very to the point, very blunt. Doesn't try and hide things with words. Very rarely lies, and just is too old for the shit. That's the character.
Okay. Fair enough. So, in that case, we'll jump right into our story. So we'll officially start our game here. So, on a fairly cold autumn night, a cart travels on a well-traveled road, just having passed what would be considered a modern immigration checkpoint. Guards of the Kingdom of Verlis, even in spite of the lack of travel documentation, have allowed a cart of 3 passengers, a driver and 2 in tow, to pass unharmed, unchecked, based on repertoire, based on rapport that the driver has had with one of the guardsmen. Dane, the driver, is convinced the guards to let them through into the region of Verlis after some fairly shaking events. Moving west on the road from Periphery to the closest Verlisian town of Lozilk. On this road, having just fled an attempt on the life of Lark. Hati, you are traveling. You are somber. You have a day's, maybe 2 days journey ahead of you. And it begins to rain. It's late. You are tired. What would you like to do?
Well, we got all right. It's not bad. Considering all the shit we've been through, so. Struggle good luck in that bit.
We're at least out of immediate danger, it seems.
Why does this shit always happen to us?
Well, I don't fucking know, but it seems like it's sticking with us, so we gotta stick it out. Fortune favors the weary. Right.
So, Dane, as the person basically driving this cart, is your destination, I'm gonna zoom in so the stream can see this a bit better. Is your destination Lozalk, or would you wish to head elsewhere? By the way, so to note where you guys are, you're currently leaving Periphery. You cross the border from Jormungandr into Verlis, and you're currently heading on the road that heads towards Lozalk. There are a few other villages north and south of the road, but Lozalk is the first real town. Yeah.
I imagine Dane, he has not traveled outside of Jormungandr very much.
No, you've
And
probably only been to Lozalk, not much further than
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. So he would go to the place that he is familiar with. So he just kind of follow the road to Lozalk, and once it gets, probably he drive on quite a bit into the night, kind of verging on maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, and then after he felt like he's made some good distance from the border, begin setting up like some kind of makeshift camp.
Okay. Go ahead and what kind of place are you going to be looking for to make a camp?
Off-road, but not densely into woods, so people, from at least from a first glance, wouldn't be able to see the cart or us. And probably with a bit of cover, so maybe a thicket of trees or a little bit of cover like that.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
As a 14.
14. Okay, first roll of the campaign. It's a bit hard because the rain is starting to set in. The drizzle has slowly kind of evolved into the pitter-patter of what is undoubtedly going to be a storm through the night. But you do see what seems to be a not too far off the main road, perhaps 100 to 150 feet off from the main trail. You do see a suitable enough thicket of trees that could be used as cover for both the cart, the horses, and yourselves, with a thick enough canopy to try and weather enough of this rain.
Yeah, so I think once Dane notices that, he says, "Alright, we're gonna go set up a camp over there. Park the horses, get your tents out, and try and fucking sleep. Got a long day of travel tomorrow, and hopefully by the time we get there, we can actually sleep in a bed or something."
Ow, what was that?
I think someone called him.
Oh, okay. I just heard the first second of that scream. It's just like, ah! Alright, so, as you guys head into this thicket and you tie the horses up, how and what materials are you going to be using to set up this camp?
Yeah, we don't actually have any tents, do we?
I think you do. Your kits, if you pick the Explorer's kit, I believe it comes with a tent. However, your cart does have the thing over it. It does have a bimini.
I'd probably just guess we all just sleep inside the cart then, I suppose. Yeah.
Alright. And is anybody keeping watch?
Oh, 100%. I think Dane would offer to take the first watch and then probably shunt Ulysses awake. Yeah.
Okay. First watch, roll me a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So, over the first few hours of this night, I mean, it's already fairly late into the night, but still, you do notice a fair number of carts heading through this road. It appears that some of the carts that have more people in there, instead of staying in the forest for the night. Instead, they are rotating sleep cycles and having another person drive the cart instead, so that they don't have to stop in the middle of the road during the night. However, you do notice something odd. Most of the carts that come through this way you recognize as merchant carts with produce or empty of produce because they're heading to Lozelle to purchase produce to return to Berber to sell. Some you see travelers, some you see traveling missionaries. But one group in particular, not on carts, just on loose horses, coming through from the east. You see these three figures on horses, shrouded, but by the nature of their riding position, you see their greaves, and you recognize the make of their armor as distinctly Jormungandr.
I think at that point, if we had a fire, Dane would put it out.
There isn't really a
stand
fire because it's raining heavily, so the fire wouldn't have really lighted anyway. So you don't need to worry about that.
So again, to try and get some cover, I assume that them two are sleeping. I don't want to wake them or try to rally anything, but I think he'd not pull his sword out, but have it at the ready in case they begin to investigate around us.
Okay. I will say all three of you because setting up camp is probably not something that one of you would do on your own. So to see how well concealed your cart is behind this thicket of trees, I would like all three of you to roll me a group survival check.
Group survival. Alright.
30-20.
Dirty 20.
18.
Dean and Ulysses?
14.
14. Okay. Decent enough. As they're passing through, they seem to be more focused looking down at the tracks. They do seem to spot some wheel tracks heading off towards the left of the trail. And one of these figures kind of looks up. You can see his head very clearly looking in your direction. Day, noticing this, you duck behind a tree again, not to be seen. After all, the figure looks down at the tracks again, and seems to be more focused on the ones heading forward. Seems like with the multitude of carts that has passed by, luck is on your side, and they do not seem to be able to pick up on your current location. A couple minutes pass by because these riders seem to be going at a fairly slow pace, seem to be trackers of a sort, going slower, reading the terrain, trying to figure out where their, adversaries are. But they do eventually pass your location altogether, now far west of you, further along the road to Lozelle.
Shite. Okay. I think Dane would be kind of just, again, on guard, constantly having his hand on his sword throughout the rest of the evening, just kind of watching the road, paranoid. And then eventually when he needs to go and sleep, he would kind of kick Ulysses awake. Oi, you're...
What the fuck do you want?
It's fucking your turn. Keep your eyes out there with some trackers from Jormungandr.
Alright.
Aye, aye.
Sure.
And then Dane would kind of, yeah, fuck you. And then he would sleep.
Alright. Ulysses, roll me a perception check.
22.
22. Similarly, you see a few carts going in through the night. You see, interestingly, one cart seems to be just a solo person, a merchant's cart, it looks to be. Some purchases on the back. This appears to be a merchant who's buying stuff from periphery and wishes to sell it at Lozelle, you can tell, simply by the large crates on the back of his cart. Notices the thicket that you guys are currently using. Seems to decide that that might be a good place to settle down for the night since he is alone and he cannot pass the reins to someone else. And starts turning his cart in your direction. He hasn't noticed you yet, but it does appear that he seems to have the same idea as you guys, to find this thicket and just bed down for the night. He's slowly approaching.
frantically looking through my inventory for something to help me.
Road flare.
I mean, if I need to, I can probably take him out with an attack, but I don't want to do that.
As far as I can tell, it's just a merchant.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing else on the road right now, right?
No, usually the people going across the road are interspersed like 20 minutes between each at the very least. Usually it's half an hour or more.
Does he have any like light, like anything, like a torch or something?
He has a lantern, a waterproof lantern, the kind that is shrouded in glass, on one side of his cart, just to sort of light the way forward.
Huh. God. Okay. I might just have to threaten this guy. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna let him get closer first, but be prepared to like confront him.
Alright, so you're letting him approach?
Yes.
He eventually does approach, and he sees the other cart. He notices you looking at him at this point, is close by. He goes, "Hello there! I didn't expect to see somebody else. I hope you don't mind if I join you in resting in this spot."
Looking at him suspiciously. Is there any markings on him or anything that would
Make a perception
imply
check.
that he's from
From
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
19. Oh
19?
wait, no, I'm sorry. I have a plus to
Mm-hmm.
21. Sorry.
21, okay. He looks kind of like a lot of people who live in Periphery. Because of Periphery's such proximity to Valicia, in fact, it's actually closer to Valicia than it is to Love. A lot of people here look like Valicians, that is to say, slightly darker skin, just mildly, slightly more lanky builds. Jormungandrs are more thicker, they're a bit more brawny and have lighter skin owing to the cold and sunless nature. However, he also does not appear to be a combatant of sorts. He's very lanky. Like, he definitely seems like he's just a merchant. He probably lives in Periphery, so he's probably Jormungandr. But he doesn't seem like a threat to you.
Okay. I'm gonna continue talking to him. No, I don't mind you sharing camp with me.
Right, excellent then. I'm just going to pull my cart up, probably over there, next to yours, then give you guys enough space.
Don't mind me asking, what do you trade?
Mainly pelts, really. Would you like to see? I buy tanned pelts from Freynau, Periphery, and Seinigen, and then I come to Lozok and Hosiriets, and sometimes even Valicia, and I sell them. They are fairly good quality. Would you like to see? I can give you a great price for a fellow traveler on the road.
Might as well look, it'll pass the time.
Okay.
Also, you can keep an eye out whilst looking at the pelts to
Make a perception check.
as well.
Make a perception check.
17.
Okay, so you're keeping an eye on the road while looking at his belts. Kind of opens up one of the bundles, not the crates. You can actually see that the crates seem to be nailed down for the sake of weather or something, but he does have a few pouches, and he does a bit of twine. Opens up this little pouch, and inside you see various pelts. You see bear pelts, you see small rabbit skins, rabbit hides. You see something much larger that you'd assume to be some kind of wild moose or yak or some sort. Typically animals that thrive in the colder northern regions. So like based on your history in this area, you probably know that these are probably animals that are hunted far north in like Dachau or Lobach, and then the carcasses or hides are then traded to the south in Lauf, Frenau, and so on, where they are tanned in the more warm climate, and then they are sold. So yeah, he does like his story kind of checks out. But yeah, you do see quite a few pelts. Some of them are better quality than others. Some of them larger, some of them smaller, some of them split in two. He starts pulling out. This is great. This is a bear pelt. It's a full piece. We didn't have to split it anywhere. It even has the claws on it. It was considered for taxidermy actually, this bear, but then eventually they wanted its innards for something else, and as part of that they had to split this hide down right the middle. So instead, they decided to turn him into a pelt, quite a fierce one. There's a story about him, and then he points to like a little hole in the hide, and he goes like, the hunter actually had to get into close combat with this bear because he was so tenacious. He survived 14 arrows, and he points out like 14 scars along the back, and then came up face to face with the hunter, where he felled him finally with a spear, just thrust directly into the side. Quite fond of this one. If you want it, I will give you a fair price. As any of my stock hold your interest?
I'm trying to think. Bear pelt's probably not the best. You said he had some like larger like deer or moose or something pelt?
He does appear to have like some larger rolled up ones. These appear to be a variation of some form of ox that lives in the north. You being not ever having traveled that far north, you're not quite sure what it would be.
Right. Bear might be better. I'm just trying to think of something we could possibly hide under if we have to.
Yes, the camouflage deer hide.
How much for the bear pelt?
The bear pelt, well, normally I would sell it for about 17 gold, but seeing as we are fellow travelers, I would be remiss to part for it any more than 15.
You know what? Sure, I'll buy it.
Excellent! And he kind of rolls it up. He puts it in like a little, just a fairly simple cotton covering. Ties it over, goes, the covering will protect it from the elements. Any leather worker would love to work on this to provide some form of armor or protection for you, or perhaps even just as a winter cloak of sorts, even though you seem to be heading south, so maybe perhaps in the future. And he ties it up, hands it over to you, hand him 15 gold.
Yep. Also, while
Yes.
we're doing this, no, this no.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Me. Detect magic.
Detect magic? Yep.
Just to
Nothing.
make sure.
Other than you and your party, nothing.
All right. I trust him.
He hands over the pelt to you, and then, like, having made a fair amount of gold, he kind of sits down for a like, excellent, never thought I'd make a trade out here. This cold woods, but made a trade, made a friend. Thank you very much. And then he heads back to his cart. He kind of closes off the bimini and seems to head to his own rest.
All right, I'll go back to watching until it's time to
Okay.
just wake Lark up for the third.
With your previous perception check, you do see a couple more carts, a couple lone riders heading through the night. Almost to the point where your companions have come awake. The merchant gets up earlier than you guys and then heads off on his own. But because of the fact that you guys are tired from running and just fleeing for your lives, your companions take slightly longer to wake.
Alright.
And you do notice that slightly before they wake, at the crack of dawn, a lone rider at breakneck speed is running west to east along the road.
East to east. Can I see any symbols of Jormungandr or anything on him? Or not from this distance?
Make a perception check.
Oh, that's actually better than my last one. 18.
18. You, in fact, do see that under the cloak, right? His cloak seems to be tattered. You see blade marks. You see tattered pieces of cloth. Seems like this rider has just escaped some form of battle. And you see where the armor gleams. You do, in fact, see that the armor styling is very much designed for cold weather, which is very, very indicative of a Jormungandr, well, we'll say agent.
It's a person from Jormungandr that just got
He's
outed.
moving from Lozelk to periphery, west to east.
Yeah. No, I don't want to give away our position.
Okay, fair enough. He rides and disappears into the east. And that's it. You don't see any more of him. And eventually your companions arrive, so you guys awaken. This day on the road towards Lozelk. Party, what would you like to do?
Get your asses
Alright, well-
up and get out of here now.
Oh, what?
What?
Several people from Jormungandr passed by. One of them heading back.
Oh, it was several scouts. I'm assuming they were trying to fucking follow us from last night. But we gave them a slip, and then I'm assuming from what you're saying they keep trying to look for us. Piss on a stick. Right, well, from the ways they was heading to where we was going. Do we continue going on the route, or do we head somewhere else?
Well, one of them was heading back to Periphery too.
Maybe they got ran out of town.
But there was only one though.
Maybe the rest of them got killed. Or they're waiting for us. Either way.
We might want to avoid Lozelk then.
I say, we get close enough where we can scout out the situation. If they're having a big uproar, then we don't go. If everything seems calm and quiet, then we go in. Like, you can do your thing, you know? Your changeling thing. You can walk in, see what's about, see if there's been a ruckus or such and something, and if it's good, you come back, tell us. If it's not, then we leave.
Fair enough. And how many did you say you saw?
Who? Me or Dan?
Dane.
I saw 3 last night. They were on horses.
You saw
It
3.
was
If
3.
one's back, that's only 2 there.
Well, we could take 2 of them.
Probably.
Yeah, I like this plan. It should work.
Mm-hmm. The only
Alright.
plan we really got.
Well, I mean, we're working with bits and bobs at the moment. We don't have the luxury of being hoity-toity about what we got to do. We're bare essentials right now.
When have we ever made plans?
Well, when our lives are in immediate danger, that's when.
Alright.
We made plans to trade in the morning, and then Dane showed up late.
Hey,
was
I'm an
okay.
old-ass man. I can sleep a bit longer than you youngsters.
You're
I've
the one
seen
that
shit
made
you've
the
even
plan.
imagined by. Yeah, fuck off.
Yes, Luke, I'm calling you out.
I know you are, and I still say fuck you. Because you're doing it in-game, and I find that funny, so I can't be mad.
So, are you guys heading further west?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, at least the plan is we're going to stop maybe 2 or 3 miles, so we're not near the town enough where they could see us, and then we'll send out Lark in a
Right.
different form, essentially, to scout it out and see if it's habitable for us.
Okay. As you guys start approaching Lozelk, Dane, you would know this having been here before. The telltale sign that you have come close to the town is that the river begins to run alongside the road to your left, that is to the south. This is known as the Lozelk tributary, and it basically runs for about the last quarter or so of this road. It is directly alongside this path. As you see this, you know at this point that you are half a day's journey out from Lozelk, and it is late midday at this point, so you're probably going to reach Lozelk night, when night has just fallen.
So it might not be best to send her in at night. Alright, this is a skinny. Either we go in at night, or we send in Lark alone at night, or we do another camping outside, and then send Lark in the morning. What we do?
I say we all go in.
If there's only 2 people here, even if they find us, I think we can take them. And the amount of time it's going to take them to get back and get more people, we can be out of town the next morning.
Well, I think the thing is, if we are gonna fight them, we gotta make sure that they don't come back.
Alright.
Last thing we need is them having beaten us. Because if they know we're here, they'll know the major roads and they'll begin sending out more troops. And then they might even have a bounty on us. And trust me, there's some entrepreneurial adventurers will come after us. And then we'll have their blood on our hands. And quite frankly, I don't want to have to kill some young buck trying to make some money. So we're going in? Alright then. Yeah, so we'll head right into town.
Alright. So as you guys head in, just before you pass the town limit, so there's no wall to this town, but there is an exterior set of buildings that seem to be better built. So like the town was ever to come under attack, these walls will be used as fortifications and so on and so forth. As you guys come into the exterior of this town, a guard, quite obviously a Verlisian guard, wearing their typical red regalia in the form of this red coif around his armor. And steps out and goes, "Oh there, who comes into Lozelk?"
Do I recognize him?
You do not.
Just looking to spend the night, then be off in the morning.
Right. Where are you coming from?
Coming from periphery.
Right. Actually, I gotta ask you a question. After something happened last night, do you know of any, yeoman soldiers that were coming this way along with you?
I mean, I was a soldier back in the day, but haven't seen any in many recent years. No.
Right. Well, keep your eyes out. I mean, we had a unsavory incident last night with a couple of yeoman soldiers, and one of them escaped. If you see anybody suspicious, you see anybody kind of new like yourselves, make sure to tell us. Oh wait. Right. What are you coming in here for again?
Justin, just get some rest. It's nighttime. We didn't intentionally stop here. Just get up, get in the morning, leave.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. 14.
Okay. Right, yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. Right, yeah, but if you see any suspicious folk, you let us know, yeah?
Aye, don't worry about it.
Excellent. Yep, head on in.
Yeah, I'll just head back in.
Okay. As you guys head into this town of Lozelk, you notice there does seem to be a fairly decent hustle that is now beginning to wane as the sun has set. Shops are beginning to close. However, you do see a little kind of boy running around, seem to be a sort of errand, and he seems to be putting up posters on walls and rubbing it down with a little bit of what you would assume is some sort of glue, and just kind of sticking it to every other building. Would you like to take a look?
Yeah.
All right. It appears to be a bounty on effectively a unnamed Jormungandr male who was last seen doing battle with the guards a night ago and fled east out of Lozelk, and is charged with attempting to break into multiple buildings.
Alright, that's not gonna be good for the relations, but Looks like them ain't welcome in this town no more, and if they see more Jormungandrs coming in, they ain't gonna be welcoming. So it looks like this place will be safe at least for a night or so.
Mm-hmm. That's a relief.
Yeah, it is. I'll be able to relax for one fucking night.
Hmm.
There's a lone tavern that you know of, Dane. One that you've stayed at before on your last travel up here. It is called. Oh shit! Fucking when memory fails me.
Tavern names.
Tavern
Bane of all
names.
DMs.
Tavern names. The book.
The book.
The book. Swords of Verlis. Town of Pertry. No. Where's Town of Lazok? Town of Lazok. Tavern. What the hell, Benny? What's your fucking handwriting? Oh, the Pearl.
Just the pearl?
Just the Pearl. Like, spelled like the Pearl from One Oyster.
Okay. Yeah, I think without really just saying anything, Dane would just drive the cart over to the pearl and
Yep.
just walk in.
Just as you walk in, seems fairly empty now, although that could just be the patrons having bedded down for the night. It is late, quite past sunset at this point. There are a couple patrons still in this lower area of this tavern drinking, having some humble meal. And as you step in, the barmaid, this fairly decently sized dwarf woman. So she doesn't look particularly short, but you can definitely tell she's a dwarf woman. Has this nice, short, well-trimmed beard, long hair pulled into 3 braids, kind of. And goes, "Hi there. How can I help you?"
Yeah, just 3 rooms and a place for the cart.
Right. 3 rooms. Then I don't have 3 rooms. I have 2, but one of them's a bit pricier because it's my biggest room. How's that for you?
We'll take the biggest room for all 3.
Biggest room for all 3 then. That would be 5 silver a night.
I'll toss her a gold. Food, drinks.
Food,
bring it to the
drinks.
table.
The cart comes free with the room for each night that you have the room. Drinks would be a silver per person.
Put on the tab.
On the tab, gotcha. She seems to start busying herself with getting food and drinks ready. One of the other younger, seems like a younger male, somehow looks sort of dwarvish, but also could be human, you're not entirely sure, comes up to you and hands you a key. Goes, second floor, furthest door down the hallway. It's all yours.
You just stare at him.
Right. Food will be ready. I'm gonna get your cart. He just runs on. Get it. But yeah, there are tables. You can grab any that you like.
Right then. I'll go to the one that's like in the corner.
Fair enough.
Protagonist table, yes.
Protagonist table.
Exactly.
You know,
The one where Strider is sitting at with a little pipe, hooded in shadow.
Get out of here, elf. Run, franchise.
Did you just call Aragorn an elf?
Yeah, I got him the elf. I got was thinking that was ridiculous.
No. Alright, so you find the protagonist table. It takes a while for the food to arrive because it seems like maybe the kitchen was in the process of shutting down, wasn't expecting any more people. But the drink arrives first. There is this nice refreshing mead, and there is what appears to be a hot malty drink as well, and you have your pick of either.
Good mead.
Alright.
me-
While later the food arrives, a humble assortment of rolls, bread rolls, some meats, a fairly well-cured sausage, and an assortment of baked potato.
Dane begins to very greedily eat. Being hardtack the past couple days.
Mm.
Keep an eye on the door while we're eating.
Yeah, what's your passive perception?
13, I think.
Alright, good enough. Seems a fairly quiet night. After a while, though, while you guys are eating, the door opens once more, and in steps this quite well hooded figure, a bit shrouded in shadow. The barmaid again looks up and goes, "Hi there! You looking for food or bed?" Kind of just makes a gesture, pulls out a bit of coin, puts it on the table, and sits down, not uttering a word. "Food then." And he is served slowly as well. Kind of keeps to himself, but oddly, he has chosen a table quite in the center of this tavern.
Dane's eating slow as he stares at the guy.
Make a perception check.
Alright. That would be a 19.
You can't see any features at all, but under the cloak you swear you see two beady black eyes staring right back at you, staring at him, but you don't see any features.
The bloke's giving me the stink eye.
The moment that you break eye contact, though, you can tell he's not looking at you.
Oh, it's kind of stink eye.
Lark is gonna slowly, over time, make herself look more human. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So,
Roll a,
adding her other
roll a
eyelid.
sleight of hand check for me. We'll
Yeah.
call this sleight of body.
Sleight of body.
Slight of body.
That, what is that? 17.
Alright. You make sure not to make too many drastic changes. Your skin gets some color to it, your eyes change a bit of color, your fingers seem a bit more dark and a bit more tanned. Just subtle changes that slowly begin to add up. The barmaid comes over with another tray of bread rolls. He goes, "Ah, good. You're getting some more color in you. You looked pale when you came in. I was worried. Eat more." And walks off. Doesn't seem to really be put off by it. Just seems to think that, you know, you're just getting color back to you. So it seems like it's worked somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Careful with that. Someone recognizes you, and that won't be fun.
Yeah.
The lone figure is still eating slowly. You see food being picked up by this hand that seems to be gloved in a dark, fairly tanned leather that seems to kind of almost disappear into his hood.
How tall is this guy? Roughly.
Not quite 6 foot. You would say 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", somewhere around there.
It's like standard height.
Standard height for a human.
Yeah. And we can see no beard poking out or facial hair. Just it's just black.
Almost no features. It's shadow. You can barely see the glistening of some light on what you would assume to be skin. Like, you know, when you turn around, there's a bit of shine to the nose or something. But it lasts so fleetingly that you can't make any detail out of it. This person seems to be good at hiding who they are.
I know this isn't what this is, but I'm really hoping this is like a dwarf or something holding up like a stick into his hood.
No, it's two dwarves. Stacked up.
No. Dwarf wouldn't do that. This is a gnome we're working.
Oh, of course. Sorry, no. It's two gnomes. I apologize.
Schmebulok.
Schmebulok. And Schmebulok Senior. Yeah.
For now, he's not bothering us. We might as well just get
Yeah.
Can I roll an insight check? I want to see if this guy is trying to eye us up. Like whenever we're not looking at him, is he trying to stare at us, or is it like some weird, like, malicious intent coming from him?
Roll a combination of perception and insight.
Radio. Yeah, D20. Excuse me. No, that's D12. Here we go. Rolled an 11 on the insight, and +4, so 320 on the perception.
the perception, you can tell that it's hard to tell whether or not he's looking at you when you're not looking at him. But whenever you do look directly at him, he almost seems to stop for a second and then meet your gaze. He seems to know when he's being observed and observes whoever is observing him.
Yeah, I think I'll stare at him for like another minute and stare back at like you. Not stare back. I'll look at Ulysses. Says, "I'm getting bad vibes from him."
Yeah. I got bad vibes from when you walk in the door.
Do we confront him? Leave it be? Well, Frank, I want to go over and just give him a knock on the head. Tell him to piss off. But no, that's not. Yeah, I know. Not the smartest thing to do. Yeah, I know.
I'm curious to have a conversation with him.
Alright, grab your drinks. Going over.
Alright.
You seem interested in me. He seems to have come over almost before you noticed it. He's standing right beside your table, a piece of bread in his hand and a cup in the other. He's kind of leaning up against the wall where you guys are sitting just as you're about to get up and you realize he's right next to you. Keep looking
Back
over
down.
at me. Why?
You're an interesting figure.
Am I?
Curious sight.
The bread goes into the hood, and now you do see it's very dark, but you can in fact see like a mouth and like what seems to be a bit of stubble, a very well trimmed beard, very dark skin, dark enough to be shrouded completely in shadow when you're not close by. Takes a small bite of the bread, chews, so the drink goes. Who are you?
Traveler.
Pilgrims. Call that.
Well, I don't much care. What I do care is being stared at.
Why you care so much about being looked at? You're in a public place, people can do what they want.
Takes a few more bites of his bread. That's true. It's true. I also saw you getting up to come over and talk to me, and I thought I'd just perform the same courtesy. What you wanted to ask me?
What was the deal?
My deal? In what sense?
Curious sight. Not many people come into a tavern and skewer themselves like you did.
I'd like to be unobserved. Is that so bad?
No, not bad. Just curious.
I have my reasons to act the way I do. I noticed you there as he like kind of motions over to Lark. Any trick?
Mm-hmm. Had it
Oops.
for a while.
Seems like I'm not the only one that doesn't really want to be seen. And then you kind of now see like through the hood, his face. From the corner of his face, you see the very black skin that's almost indistinguishable under this hood. Parts of it begin to turn white, up until half his face, and then it turns back. He did it in a very subtle manner to the point where you guys can tell it was deliberately done so that you would see it, but nobody else would see it. Because it was done only at the part where you guys are currently facing.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare to find, it's a rare to find gift around these parts. It's easy to say my curiosity was piqued.
Fair enough. I'm afraid I have not really met anyone else who can.
Forgive my curiosity, but last night I was attacked by a couple folks, and then tonight I see another one coming into the same town where I am staying, just the night after I was attacked. I'm not so naive as to think that that is mere coincidence.
Attacked, you say? Whoa.
Men in armor, designed for cold.
Hmm.
They seemed to know of my talents. I heard them uttering, "Don't let her out of your sight. She might change." Odd, though. I'm not a girl.
Why don't you sit down? Maybe we could have ourselves a friendly little conversation then.
Okay. Kind of waits for you to sidle over, make a little space for him. He sits down as well. Keeps the hood up, though. Well, it appears there's a story here. Takes a sip. Now I'm all ears.
Look at Lark.
Story, I'm afraid, not that interesting.
Interesting enough to almost get me killed. It doesn't take much for me to connect the dots, so to speak. Someone wants you dead.
Add him to the list. Afraid I've not made many friends in my days.
What's your name? It's a long
Lark.
pause for a name, Lark.
Yep. Says Larch.
You say Larch?
Yep.
It's a long pause for a name, Larch. And you? Kind of looks towards Dane.
Yeah.
I get it.
I got a bit of a policy when it comes to names. Don't tend to give mine out unless I hear the one asking for it.
Very well then. Then in that same vigor, let's say that you can call me Pause, since that's all that we seem to be having for names at the moment.
Fair enough. Right, pause. Gotta say, I haven't met many of your ilk, other than a little miss here.
You've met one, that is many. Not many of us around. Now you've met two. Now that's a fucking ton.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, again, I only have experience with one, really. What I know is you're a secretive type.
You
Don't
could
go around
say
telling too many
that.
truths.
Don't go around telling many lies either. I just don't like to tell much of anything, really.
Alright. You ask why we're here. Well, I'll keep it vague, but it's not a lie. Someone, somewhere up north, took something from someone in this party. Someone that's rightfully theirs. And they don't want them to take it. So,
They ran us out of our house, you could say. And now we're here.
Curious. Very curious. Kind of looks at each one of you in turn. I will tell you something that's not a lie, but also vague and kind. I'm heading east. Probably to where you've just come from. See, I heard through a little bird that someone up north no longer had what was once theirs, and that people down south might have to fear violence. I was sent to, well, learn. Just my luck, it appears I can learn without heading too far out of my comfort zone. This moment he kind of like sits back a bit, pulls aside one section of his cloak, and then he kind of notices all of you getting tense because you're like, is he pulling a weapon? And he raises a hand, reaches into a pocket, pulls out a small crest, making very careful motions to ensure that he keeps it concealed within his cloak and so on and so forth. And what you see is, you see this small emblem of a throne crossed by swords. Make a history check, all three of you.
1.
Three.
-1.
3.
Intelligence.
17, 1, and 3.
17. Alright. Alright. Well, Dana and Lark, you have no idea what he's showing you. Ulysses, you recognize the sigil, this, effectively what is a badge that is very unique. It's made of this bronze that has sort of greened around the sides from a bit of age. But it is unmistakably a mark of a sword of Verlis. It's a very self-contained group. These are direct emissaries of Verlicia, of the throne of Verlis, and they are sent out, usually alone, on very important missions for the crown. Usually they are spies, sometimes they are diplomats, sometimes they are combatants. Their existence is usually just a rumor, but in higher noble circles, it's quite a given that they exist, and you might even have seen a prior sword of Verlis show this emblem to nobility in your kingdom in the Pearl Conservatory before. But you see this, and you're fairly sure that it's legitimate because it's made of bronze, which, well, it's kind of hard to work bronze into shapes like this with the intricate carving on it, and it's also definitely very accurate to the sigil. It's a throne, 2 cross swords over it. And after a moment, he looks at Dane and Lurk and seems disappointed by the lack of recognition. Looks like Ulysses recognizes that recognition and puts it back in it goes. It appears only one of you knew the value of that.
Really? Neither of you. Really? Okay.
No.
Nope.
Nah.
We'll talk about that later.
Ah, Christ.
It's probably smart. It's not something to discuss in a place like this. Well, I have a good idea of who you are, and I have good faith that you, as he nods towards Ulysses, would have a good idea of who I am. So let me say this. Do you wish for friends?
Sorry, what you say? Dang,
Do you wish for friends?
ask of us.
I cannot say. But I believe you, and he nods towards luck, have friends in Verlicia. There is a complication, however. Heading to Verlicia is, well, for lack of a better term, treacherous for you. Unsavory folks have begun to set up watch on the road between Verlicia and Nozelk, the great north-south passage through the forest. I'm afraid if you were to travel in your current, well, capability, there's very little chance of you making it to meet your new friends with little resistance. I have options, a solution, but now is not the time to speak. If you wish to speak, as it begins to sort of get up, meet me on the eastern end of town tomorrow at noon. Until then, try not to die. Begins walking away.
Right. That was interesting.
Very.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Neither of you knew.
I don't
guess.
I don't-
What?
I don't pay much of attention outside of Jormungandr politics. Normal politics piss me off to begin with.
I've been with this guy for 10 years. If he doesn't know it, I certainly don't. What was
You
that?
know what? Whatever. I'm not gonna say that here.
Hmm.
We will talk about that in private.
Well, why don't we finish up our meal and head off to bed then, shall we?
All right.
Yep. So we finish up and then as we
Alright.
head to our larger private room.
Okay. Nothing of note really happens between now and then, and you guys eventually find yourselves in your private chambers. There is a single large king-size bed and a couch, and there is a ensuite, what you would say is a functional toilet and a bath.
Alright. I'll call the bed.
I'll take the couch.
Take the bath.
Oh, you'll suck with a bath. Gotta be quick, son.
Dane would head over to his new bed for the night, looking very smug.
The assumption of caring in that statement that you just made.
Yes.
We walked into that room, he described it. I immediately knew I was getting the bath.
Hey, Chris, your audio is apparently a bit soft on stream, so I'm gonna bump you. Give me a audio test. Keep talking.
Yep, alright. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right, that's good.
Alright.
Is there still a lot of background noise from me, by the way? Is there still a lot of background noise from me?
No, you're good now.
Alright.
No.
You're better.
Alright.
So what was that thing?
That was what was it called? A sword of Verlis or whatever his name was.
Sword of Verlis, yeah.
Yeah. That was a sword of Verlis there. They're like
And that is.
high-ranking special operatives for the Verlisian government.
Alright.
And they want to help us.
Well, I'm making the assumption that they don't like the new change in royalty.
Don't
Are we
blame
the only ones?
Yep. Quite uncommon, I see. Well,
I trust
I
them.
think we need. Oh, I was right quick of you.
Yeah.
No, near offense. I didn't even trust him as far I could throw him. I could probably throw him a good bit, but that's not the point.
You would die before you threw him.
Probably. But we're in a new place now, and this ain't your home. We don't got no friends, no allies. Our influence is as a peasant, so none. If we can get even one friend, and if this person is high ranking as you say is, that's someone we might want to have on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The problem with that is you all are ignoring the warning he gave us. He told us to meet him tomorrow morning, and then specified not to die before then.
Yeah. We haven't died yet.
Why? I guess. I mean, it might be a bit counterintuitive, since we just got ourselves a nice bed and all. But maybe we just keep on watch tonight.
Dane, does a 14 hit you? Does a 14 hit you?
No.
No. The window, you suddenly hear this sound of glass breaking. Not like it's shattering, but a small hole appears in the window where it seems to have just broken through. A dart flies directly at your head just as you move out of the way and embeds itself in the wall behind you.
Shite. Jump behind the bed for cover.
Okay. Do the rest of you also jump behind the bed for cover? What are you guys doing? I'll let you guys describe what you're doing before we get into rolls here.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a table somewhere in this?
There is a table. There's a coffee table.
Cool. I'm picking that up and I'm slamming it against the window.
All right, Millie, what are you doing?
Going, holding up a shield, grabbing a shield. I'm not jumping behind no bed.
Okay, I want the three of you to roll initiative.
Ah, motherfucker.
Right. We got a map, or is this
Nope, this is theater of the mind.
cool? Just want to know if I had to grab a token.
18.
12.
Sorry, I'll just type it in. Where that is.
Get my D8 ready. Let's smite some fools. Smite.
Okay. So, top of the round, Lark, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go peer out that window.
All right, make a perception check. This is your action, by the way, to make a perception check. All right.
18.
18. Okay, good enough. You look out the window and you see what appears to be standing on the roof of a adjacent building that is only a one-story building. You see a figure with a cloak over, tattered cloak, tattered robes. Seems like there's slash wounds across the armor. You see scratches. You see the greaves. You see the what appears to be the distinct Jormungandr armor. And based on the description that your comrades had given you, this appears to be the lone rider that was riding east out of Lozelk a night ago. And he seems to be holding in his hands what appears to be a few darts, and in his other hand a crossbow, as he is raising the crossbow up to his eye, ready to fire at you. You have a bonus action. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try and move out of the way, or at least as much as I can. Holding up shield, doing that.
Okay, gotcha. So you are now in 3/4 cover. All right. Next up, Dane. You're going first. Dane.
Sorry. Would Lark have like mentioned that there's a guy outside the window? Like roughly where he is.
She didn't say. No.
Alright, well I think Dane's gonna grab a javelin
Okay.
out of his bag. He's gonna run over to the window.
Mm-hmm.
And is it immediately obvious that there's a guy with a crossbow, or do I have to
Yeah,
roll
it's super obvious.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
right there.
chucking a javelin at him?
Chucking a javelin at her. The reason why Lark had to roll is because Lark says she's peeking through, so I call that as an action. But if you're just like standing there looking at him, yeah, you see him.
Yeah, no, no. Dane's gonna like just from like a backpack to just sling a javelin, just go grab one and just
Okay.
see him hurl it at him.
The moment that you look up and you expose yourself like that, his held action goes first. So he's gonna throw. He's gonna shoot his crossbow at you. There'll be a 19 to hit.
Just hits.
Just hits. Okay. That will be 12 points of piercing damage.
Mhm.
All right, and then let me roll sneak attack. There will be another 8 points, so total 20 points of damage. As this crossbow, this time straight up shatters the window and just hits you right between two armor plates in your chest.
Alright, having fucking none of that.
All right.
Smite doesn't work on ranged weapons, does it?
Melee weapon attack, I believe. Let me check.
Pretty sure. Well, I have it here. 1 minute divine sense, divine smite. Yeah, melee weapon attack.
Yeah.
And okay. In that case, I'm gonna reduce savage attack. So I roll an additional damage die if I hit.
Okay.
Does an 18 hit.
Hits. Roll damage.
Alright, so 2d6 plus 4. Uh, 12 points of damage.
Nice. So you hit him directly in the chest. It pierces through his fairly thin armor. Doesn't seem to be wearing armor that is made of metal of sort. It seems to be leather-based armor and greaves, with some metal pieces here and there, but mainly leather. And it does pierce well through, and you hear a grunt of pain as he kind of bends down on one knee now while reloading his crossbow. Next up, Ulysses.
Okay, I just use my movement just to get out of immediate range. Just like saddle up against the wall.
Fair enough. Ulysses.
Cool. Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt. All right, roll to hit.
23, I think. It's 20 something.
Okay. Hits. Roll damage.
Alright. I'm just gonna do that on D&D Beyond because I don't feel like rolling 46. 17.
17. All right. Yep. He takes 17 points of radiant damage, and he is now glowing. So the next attack on him is advantage. Back to the top of the round, Lark.
Okay. Let's use. Sorry, I'm reading over stuff. Okay. I'm gonna first use Hunter's Mark
Okay.
on him,
All right.
and then Longbow.
Longbow. All right. Roll to hit.
That's a 21.
21. Hits, roll damage.
Well, with Hunter's Mark.
Okay. He seems very hurt, but he's still standing, and he just kind of pulls the arrow out and reloads, and now it's his turn. He's gonna go. Lark, are you still in the window?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna hit you. Well, he's gonna try to. It's 17 to hit.
No.
No, okay. So crossbow bolt just misses. He's going to bonus action shoot again. That is a 19 to hit this time.
That hit.
That hits, okay. It's 10 plus sneak attack. Shit. 13 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Plus, make a constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, and Dane as well. I forgot about that. Make a con save.
That 20 plus 2, so 22.
Okay, so you're fine. Dane, what's your constitution save? Dane?
Guy.
Sorry, 19.
19. Okay. Both of you
I keep
save.
beating myself not to make background noise. I'm sorry.
No, no worries. Both of you save. You pull out the arrow. It does seem to be coated in poison, but it has not held. At the end of his turn, he's going to move to the edge and looks to be getting ready to jump off. As his turn ends, before Dane's turn, at initiative count 14, you guys, well, Lark, you would see, since you're still standing there, you see a cloaked figure, kind of looking a bit familiar, running up to where the guy's about to jump off and hiding in a shadow, just waiting for a second. Alright, moving on, Dane's turn.
Can I still see him from the window?
You get up, you look at the window, you can't see him, and you also see the cloaked figure that's kind of underneath this sort of balcony where this guy that's been attacking you is about to jump off. The cloaked figure seems to be radiating like an attack of some sort.
Okie dokie. In that case, how far away is he from me?
About like 60 feet at this point. No longer the 20 feet that he was before.
So I cannot. Just to clarify, I cannot see the assailant.
No, you can see the assailant. He's just about 60 feet from you.
60 feet. Okay, I'm gonna use command,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say halt.
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 Alright, what's the save on that?
14.
Well, it's a nat 15, so I don't know what his, but yeah, he saves.
Yeah. So again, Dane just kind of goes over, like in a booming voice, says halt, doesn't work, and he's like shite, and then goes back.
Okay.
Gets cover.
Alright. Ulysses, it's your turn.
Great. Guiding bolt again.
Guiding bolt again. Oh, there was advantage on that previous attack, but it hit anyway, so it's fine.
It was fine. It was lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Guiding bolt, roll to hit.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay, hits, roll damage.
$15.
15. Okay, looks very hurt. You hit him right in the back as he kind of lights up again. And to speed things along, we'll say for the purposes of this, as you hit him right in the back, you kind of just pushed off this where he is standing just by the sheer force of the guiding bolt hits him. And as he is falling, you do see the shadow down there, and Lark you'd see it too since you haven't moved away yet. The shadow, as he's falling, goes on his held action with an attack, pulls out a short sword, and while this assailant is falling in midair, in a clean stroke, just decapitates him.
Jeez.
Brutal.
You get him. You get him.
Silent. Yeah.
Dane can't see this. He doesn't see the awesomeness.
No, but our new friend did.
Because like Dane peeks up.
What, you think
Golly.
I missed?
At this
Wow.
point, looking down, you do see this cloaked figure again looking up through the hood. You can't see the face or anything. Just kind of looks up at you, a little kind of raised head, raised expression. You can't really see his face. Really, this person is really good at not being seen. Kind of looks down and starts picking up the body, and the head seems to be tying it up and drags it out of sight from you guys.
He's gonna claim that bounty.
Got it.
Cares.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that bounty's to get claimed. Well, there goes the fucking perceptions that this town is safe.
Simple, we're
Right.
too close to home.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We were
Ugh.
almost directly told that this town was not safe.
Well, I fucking know, but I thought, you know, with the bounty on the lads and the fact that they died, or at least most of them died trying to do this, they'd have some common sense how to come back to a town that they hated at. But I guess these boys are driven. So we're gonna sleep. We're going to say howdy to our matey.
I mean, do you think it's safe to sleep here?
Yeah,
Well,
we'll be
I mean,
fine.
safe as long as we've got someone to watch, so it looks like he won't be getting to sleep in the bathtub all night. Right, Lark. Well, I went first last night. You gotta go first this time.
Yep, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Alright. Lark, you're taking first watch?
Yeah, but first, I'm gonna try and like put something over the window, whether it's a blanket or that bear pelt we got.
Sure. There are
Grabs the bear belt and puts it over the window.
There are two windows. There's one facing the adjacent building where you were just attacked from, and then there's another one facing the street.
Okay. Put the bear pelt over one,
Mhm.
and then a blanket over the other one.
Good enough. It works.
Wait a minute.
You don't get a
Shouldn't we
blanket.
like? No. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, tomorrow morning, that fucking housekeeper and the guard's gonna be like, "Oh, why the fuck there's a broken window?" Should we go tell them that we got attacked, or just leave for tomorrow?
It was a bird.
No, we should probably tell him right now.
Probably just tell them now.
All right.
All right. Well, think. Do you want? I'll do it, or do you just want to fucking stay watch, or do you want to do it, or fucking whatever?
Rock paper scissors.
For fuck's sake, I'll go.
Ulysses gets up and goes.
Wait.
Alright.
Works every time.
Ulysses, it's not hard to find the tavern owner, who's actually the barmaiden, the dwarven lady with the close crop beard. You knock on her door, opens a bit sleepy. Hi, yes, how can I help you?
Just wanted to tell you that we just got attacked.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
We were up in our room. Someone shot a crossbow bolt at us through a window.
Are you alright? Do you need me to call the guard?
No, we just didn't want you blaming the broken window on us.
The window's broken.
That's what happens when a crossbow bolt shoots at a window.
Make a persuasion check.
22.
I mean, was it the entire window or just one piece of it?
Was it just one piece of it?
Well, it was one piece of it where the crossbow bolt came through, but then when you threw the javelin out, the entire window got broken.
It was the whole window.
Oh, well, it's just a window.
Shit,
It's
my
fine.
javelin.
It's fine.
Nobody needs to know that that javelin was ever thrown.
No.
I
Yeah,
only have 4 javelins left.
she
now.
just kind of like waves a hand at you, goes like, it's fine. You should just go get some rest. Stay safe. If you need any healing, just let me know and I'll see what I can pull together. Yeah, of course. She goes back to sleep. Good night. Good night. And like goes back to sleep.
Chill staff.
Chill staff.
Alright.
So, first watch.
Lark.
Roll it. Perception check.
15.
1-5?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing of note really happens. Town seems quiet, no one coming through the street, no startling noises. Uneventful night.
Mm. Halfway through, go and wake Dane up
Okay.
and swap out.
Yeah.
Dane?
Perception.
Yep.
13.
13. Same thing. And morning comes. You guys can take a long rest.
Yay.
I get my spells.
I get my spells back.
Right.
You have a day before you. What would you like to do?
Right, well, fucking new matey said we had to go meet him. So
So
we
they
best be
just
doing
like-
that. Yeah. Let's grab a brunch to go and then say howdy.
Yep.
I'm taking that bear pelt.
What's
Just
our
to
bear
make-
belt?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I'm taking it down because
yeah,
it's
it's-
ours, and I want to make sure that we have it with us.
Belt.
It's a nice pelt.
Mhm.
Where'd you get that pelt?
Don't worry about
Alright.
Don't
Something
worry
might
about
have happened in the middle of the night while you two were asleep, but I handled it. Don't worry.
Did you kill a bear?
Maybe.
Definitely.
And then tanned it immediately.
Insight.
roll inside check.
Dane.
21.
Guy Silver.
He did
Guy
not.
Silver. He didn't kill a bear.
He did not kill a
12
bear.
20 gold. Didn't kill a bear.
Oh, didn't kill a bear.
Didn't
We're in
kill a
agreement.
bear.
Betting doesn't work.
No. Alright. I don't know, let's go downstairs, grab a sausage, and leave.
Alright.
Alright, so we go downstairs, we grab a sausage, and we leave.
Alright. The eastern end of town is the town where you guys came in. Sorry, it's the part of town where you guys came in. So it's the part that's close to the periphery.
Mm-hmm.
You guys head there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bustle of the town is starting to come awake as it's morning. Stalls are beginning to open up. Shops are beginning to start their, putting out their wares. Children going around playing. People going to wherever their places of work are. And you come to the eastern side of town. However, your friend is nowhere to be seen.
I mean, he's probably one of these random yokels.
People.
Just he's gonna sneak up behind us, little boo, fucking thingy.
That's a nice idea, but I don't quite like that. As you see this fairly well-dressed but unremarkable-looking gentleman just walks up to you and goes, "Larch? Nameless? Would you like to follow me?"
Gladly.
I ain't gonna.
Kind of walks you guys around the northeastern part of town, up towards what you're fairly sure he's walking you directly towards the guard barracks. Still keeps going. Seems like he's heading directly there. Are you guys gonna do anything?
So, what do you do with the body?
You'll see.
Do you have my javelin?
Yes, I do in fact have your javelin.
Good.
You can
Good.
buy another javelin.
That's not the point. They don't make them like they do back home.
Sentimental.
I have 5 javelins that I'm never gonna use. 'Cause I have guiding
Yeah.
bolts.
Yeah, those are your javelins. These are my javelins. Not the same.
Walks up to the guard room, and they seem to recognize him or whatever this form is. Hi there, sir, and open the gates. And none of you are checked. It seems being in his presence gives you a free pass into these barracks.
Nice.
They don't take your weapons, nothing.
You got some sway, I see.
Being me has its privileges. It kind of just winks at you. Keeps going forward. Leads you down a set of stairs into the prison, but doesn't stop. Keeps going lower, past the cells, down to the 3rd basement floor, where there is a heavy iron door, locked with a guard standing outside. Open it. The guard nods and promptly begins undoing the lock and swings the iron door open, and immediately you're hit with a stench, rotting flesh. You walk in, or rather he walks in, just as for you to follow. Do you follow?
Aye.
You see
Yeah.
what looks to be a single male Jormungandr chained up, hands attached to the ceiling, legs attached to the floor, held in tension, suspended in air. To his left, you see the remains, now fairly decayed, probably 2 days old, of a corpse. Another Jormungandr male, probably the one one of the 3 that came in early. And then to the right, you do see the beheaded remains of the one that attempted your life last night. This one that is hanging up has a gag around his mouth. At this point, the gentleman that you know as Paws turns to you and goes, I hope, seeing your people in this state, seeing as you are legitimately some sovereign, does not make you feel upset.
Not in the slightest.
Good.
These cunts tried to kill us. They can piss right off, I don't fucking care.
Well, I assume you might have questions for this one, and in a gesture of good faith, you have about half an hour, and he steps out. The door remains open, but he steps out.
Oh, Ilnaval, you do me justice. Thank you kindly.
Walk up to this lad.
He's out cold, just kind of hanging, unconscious, but definitely alive.
Took him on the head.
Comes to, blinks his eyes, looks at you, looks at Lark. A moment. Lark, what do you look like right now? You still human, or?
Probably slightly human.
Slightly
Still
human?
looks like Mark, but
Okay.
know.
Looks
Just
at
like
you.
Nosferatu.
He does recognize
Yeah.
you. We'll say that. He does recognize you. Looks at Ulysses, Dane, kind of panic looking back and forth. Looks over to his right and seems to be startled by the new body now as he looks at his comrade, and you see genuine fear in his eyes. He is stark naked, hanging from chains in the ceiling.
Is he got a gag in his mouth?
Gag in his mouth, yes.
Gotta remove the gag.
Son, I'm gonna tell you something. You know what the crime is for attacking a superior officer? You know what it is?
He just nods.
Yeah. Summary execution. Now, traditionally, this is done by beheading. Sometimes it's done by hanging. Personally, my favorite. You know, this is some old orc tradition that I kind of brought over to me when I was in Hrothgar's gang. Do you know about it? No, this is for the ones that really dissent, the ones that you want to make a message to. You call it orcish tie. You see, you cut bottom of your throat. I'll reach in, I'll grab your tongue, and I pull it out. You do a little jiggle there. Oh, remember back in the day, made all the orcs giggle. Ever heard an orc giggle? Oh, it's terrifying. You know that?
Roll an intimidation check.
I am very good at intimidation.
Yeah. It's 21.
He kind of just looks at you, trying to reel away, but he can't because he's in chains. And you see genuine fear in his eyes. You have successfully intimidated him.
Now, that's for attacking an officer, or sergeant, or captain. Do you know what happens when you try to kill royalty? Well, they decapitate you. But that's for the public. You see, down in whatever deep, dank dungeon, they'll keep you for weeks. You see, they don't like it when they try to kill a royal, and they try to keep it hidden for a real long time. And you know what they do to people like you? To assassins? Well, they torture them. Now, I could get into a long, arduous, and quite obviously terrifying conversation to you about all the nasty little things I could do to make you squeal. But looking at you, and by looking at how wet your pants is, I think you understand what I could do, what I might do, if you don't be, well, pliable. You understand?
You see in his eyes now a sort of, he's not looking at you, he's looking down at the ground, and you see a kind of solemn resignation and sadness. He just kind of blinks, and Harald just closes his eyes and his head sinks.
No, I don't know. I grab his head and I'll stare him in the eyes.
He averts a gaze.
Look at me, son.
Slowly begins to look back at you.
You are fucking pitiful.
He
You have to try and kill us, bows and arrows. Pitiful. Can't even look me in the eye.
He shrugs for a moment, and then he looks in the eye and goes, "Tell you what. Ask me a question for an answer you wish to know. I'll answer truthfully, see what happens."
Look at Lark.
Who sent you out here?
Yup. And just as he begins to say that, you see his chest darken, purple veins just exploding across the front of his torso, crawling up across his face. See a smile on his face, and his neck just snaps, and he dies.
That's a new trick.
That is diabolical.
Kind of just toss his head away.
Pitiful.
No, his head is still attached, it's just snapped.
Yeah, I know. I'm still holding his head. I just kind of tuck it away,
Right.
flick it away, and then kind of just stand up.
You see, Pause now enters the room. For what it's worth, I knew. Yes, that's what happened to that one, and he points to the other one on the ground. I figured I'd give you the satisfaction anyway. Now then, would you like to talk?
What do you want to know?
How about somewhere a bit more conducive? I have an office here. And he steps
Alright.
out, walks, and goes up the stairs.
Stark follows him.
Okay.
Yeah, Dave will follow too.
Alright. He heads to the very top of the building, which seems to be the 4th story. And this 4th story is closed, and as you enter, there is a room, there is a desk, there is a chair, and there are windows around. However, there are no cabinets. Like, this doesn't look like what you would expect an office to be. It's almost like an empty room with a desk, a chair, some food and drink on the side, like preserved food and drink that is not going to go bad, and just a small amount of papers, some tokens, a bit of money on the table. That's about it. The room is empty, otherwise there are windows on each sides. Well then, Lark.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very horrible, false name you tried to have there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you made it this far with that kind of. You know what? I'm not here to insult you. That's besides the point. Let's start with you. What do you want? Everybody has a guess of what has happened. I have my theories, but I'm not entirely sure what did happen. I want to hear what happened to you, but first I want to hear what you want.
Long-term or short-term goals?
How about both?
Short-term, stay alive,
Noble?
don't die. Be nice to have a permanent place to sleep and eat. Long-term, conquering of a kingdom.
Conquering? Through force?
I think I should be on the throne. Seems like others don't agree.
So, then, the next part of the question, what did happen? What happened to your, well, father?
Well, they're dead, along with my brother,
Oh,
and ever since I've learned I had a bounty on my head.
and who sits on the throne now?
My stepmother.
Is that legitimate? His eyebrows kind of raise from the moment we say stepmother.
Legitimate in some ways, but she owes no royal blood.
That's the first time I've heard that. Would you like to know what the official statement is?
Mm.
Your brother
I'd
sits
love-
on the throne. Your brother rules Jormungandr. Emissaries from Lauf to Verlis claim to be sent on the word of your brother, and that you attempted his life and failed.
That's
And
possible.
I've
shortly,
not been in Laos for a year.
well, very shortly we can expect the Kingdom of Jormungandr to put out a bounty on your head, both in the territories of Jormungandr and Verlis, for attempting regicide.
Bullshit. Rothgar's dead. Son's dead. Only person here with a rightful claim is the person sitting in front of you right now.
I can tell that you believe that. Now I don't know what to believe because, well, while we have official word from Love that your brother sits on the throne, we have not been able to confirm this. In fact, Love is a black hole of information. Nothing's coming out. We can't send our spies in, and our diplomats were expelled the moment your father died.
That's not something my brother would do, even if he did sit on the throne.
I'll have to
I'm
take
not
your
about
word
kids,
for it.
sis. It was we. She's not that stupid. Not that conceited. Tell you who is, though. That bitch.
How did you escape?
For being honest, you heard me.
We ran, we fled. Not much sticking around with a bounty on your head now, is there?
That's fair. Now, here's the issue. Titian, do you know where it is?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Matician.
Where's that?
It's
Found it.
northern
Very
Verlis.
far north. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Magician. I see it.
Matician has sent us a report that Jormungandr forces are gathering on the border, deployed from Dachau and Lobach. Furthermore, here in Lozelk, we've seen our scouts reporting movement along the border directly north of the town. Whatever or whoever sits on the throne of Jormungandr, the Council of Love is preparing for armed direct action of some sort that we are not entirely sure what. Not sure if they expect the other kingdoms to invade or if they are preparing to do so. There's very little information, and this region sits on the brink of war. Turdunia has somehow maintained a very neutral stance in all of this. The Duchy have decided to recuse themselves from all trade and diplomatic discussions. Therefore, Jormungandr really only sees Verlis as a point of contention. Therefore, King Gregor Valencia sent me here, well, to Periphery, to investigate, to find the truth behind what actually happened in Love, and to ensure that these kingdoms do not come to war. So, my question is, if you were on the throne of Love, would we go to war?
I don't see a reason why.
I can see how you might think that might be an acceptable answer, but I need a reason why you would not go to war, not an absence of a reason for you to go to war.
Relations are good. Trade is good. What's the point in breaking something that there's already trust in?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm good at this. That's the what is that? The 17.
It looks to the other two of you. You I recognize, Dane. You were seen often in the company of Hrafka back in the day. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're right.
You don't look like Jormungandr.
I'm not.
Oh, I was speaking to the blonde one.
Well, I'm not Jormungandr. Nope, I didn't.
Where are you from?
Berlin.
Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing this far north?
Ask my father.
Is he someone I would know?
Maybe.
A raised eyebrow, but doesn't pursue that line of questioning. Well then. Here's my proposal. Head to Valencia. Seek counsel from the king. Seek legitimacy to your claim to the Lao throne. Make an ally, make friends, and use the strength of that ally to reclaim your kingdom. What do you say?
Sounds like the best plan we've got.
Well, this plan has a complication, however. Forces from Periphery have invaded Verlis. Lao denies any knowledge of this, but we're fairly sure they have. They moved directly west from Periphery and have set up camp somewhere along the road between Valencia and Lozelle, on the north-south region directly north of Valencia. We don't know exactly where, but we do know for a fact that wherever these forces are, they are south of the break along the road that heads towards Ketchers. So, while it may be a detour, your best action might be to head from here to Ketchers, and from there to Valencia, across, well, not only a river, but somewhat treacherous forest. Would you be up to that, Your Highness?
If you think it's the best plan.
Looks at the other two of you.
Can I roll an insight check on the invasion that you said?
Sure.
Yeah, just want to make sure he's not trying to cuff us. Never mind, that's a 6.
He's very hard to read. I mean, this is someone who deals with information for a living. Very hard to read, but you also don't see a reason that don't see any indication of a lie. Just really hard to read. You can't get through that.
Right, well, whatever you pick, Locke, I'll be right there beside you.
I trust our new friend.
So, Locke, and I know your name's Dane. What's yours?
Ulysses.
Ulysses. You have a cart, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I can provide you with supplies for your journey from here to Ketchers, but you're going to have to procure more supplies at Ketchers for your journey across the woodland to Valencia. Would you be able to do that on your own?
Not incompetent. Shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Do you have coin?
Got some.
Enough, I hope. It would be a 2-week journey from here to Ketchers, mainly because of the terrain. The road is smooth along from Lozelle to the crossroads, and from the crossroads south to Valencia, but where the path splits from the main path to the path along Ketchers, it is significantly harder to traverse because of elevation. That section alone will take you a week. Perhaps more. I would prep for 2 weeks of travel.
Alright.
Alright.
If you return to the stockade before you leave on your journey, they will be instructed to provide you with rations for the entire length of the journey, tents, and whatever other simple supplies you might need. Beyond that, for the time being, you're on your own.
Understood.
I hope to see you in Valencia. For now, you should make haste. Leave at once. Speed is your armor. Do not forsake it.
Alright. Let's get a moving.
Yeah. You kind
Last
of...
before we go.
Yes.
You said you had my javelin.
We'll be waiting for you when you come to collect your supplies.
Good.
Smiles. Kind of just raises a hand and gestures for you guys to take your leave.
Clark gets up and leaves.
I'll follow.
Dane will follow.
Alright, so Paddy, you have your time ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Sounds like we gotta go get the cart.
Alright, you grab a cart. I got food. I'm gonna go buy some booze. It's gonna be a long
Great.
journey.
Gonna hand him 10 gold. Get some more.
Alright, you wanna pop in? What you want? You want some of your own booze, or you going to the communal booze?
I'll go get my own.
Fair enough.
One more thing as he steps down. Your armor, it's obviously well made. Hide it. Buy some cloaks.
Right.
Just nods at you and heads further down.
Mm-hmm.
Got a point. Right. You get the Glock, you get the cart. You'll get the booze. I'll get the cloaks. No, you get the
Alright.
cloaks, I'll get the booze. I got the money.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Alright. It's easy enough to get the cloaks. They would cost you about a gold for the size that you're looking for, because you're probably looking for cloaks to cover your entire armor. You would look bulky in them, but I mean, it's functional. The cart is easy enough to retrieve from the tavern. As for the booze, what kind of booze are you looking for, and where are you going to look for it?
I think he would probably head to the bar first.
Okay, so the tavern, right? The barmaid's still there, just doesn't notice you yet. She seems to be cleaning up, getting ready for a fresh evening.
Oi.
Aye,
You guys taking away
yes.
bottles?
Not many, and they're a bit pricey because I need them for myself. What are you looking for?
Cheap, but strong.
I think I got what you need. Give me a second. Steps into the back room. A couple minutes later, steps out with about 3 of these large bottles. One a nice amber liquid, 2 of them fairly clear. This one's your good old-fashioned whiskey. It's never gonna do you down. Sets that forward. Now these I make myself. Now these are vodka. I think you'll like him. Puts them down. For the lot, we'll say 18 gold. 6 apiece.
Make a 15 and go deal.
16.
15, 5 silver.
Done. Shakes a hand.
He'll take that.
Alright,
He'll hide bottles underneath his cloak and make his way out.
alright.
Great.
So, bringing the cart over to the stockade, they do in fact give you, somebody take note of this. This is 3 times 14, so 30 plus 12, 42 rations. So 42 days of rations.
And then divide that up between the 3 of us. So
That is 2 weeks of rations for each of you. Wait, hold on. It should be, is it 42? Yeah, that is 42. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
2 weeks of rations for each of you.
14, 24 rations. Lovely. Plus vodka and whiskey.
And each one of you have now a tent. Okay. You also each have 50 feet of hempen rope added on to whatever you already have.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and finally you have enough firewood for 2 weeks of fires.
Got it.
That's all you are given.
Right, well, it's more than we had. Right.
Millie, you're a bit hard to hear. Could you say something again?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Much better.
Okay.
Right then, unless anyone else got any other business. Check the shops just in case they got anything we might need, and then get out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Alright then.
Right.
Anything else you guys want to do in town?
Is there like a general store or anything that would sell
like quote unquote adventuring supplies, like armor, weapons, maybe probably not magical items, but
Not a.
anything of that variety.
There is a general store, but a general store wouldn't sell that. General store will sell things like
Yeah,
like kits and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's why I was more specifying more adventuring
Right.
equipment.
There is a general store. There is a leatherworkers inn, and that's it.
All right, I guess I'll go into the general store and I would look if they have a climber's kit.
There is a general store, and you do in fact find a climber's kit for sale. I'll tell you the price in just a second. Let me do a bit of math here. One second. Okay. Slightly more pricey than normal. It is 28 gold.
What's the quality of it?
Decent. Functional.
Just checking the rope, the pittons, making sure they're not rusted or damaged.
It's all good. It's new. It's new.
All right. Okay, I guess I would grab that. Oh yeah, that, a hooded lantern with oil.
Okay. Hooded lantern of oil, like a gold.
Yeah. And enough oil for essentially 2 weeks.
Yeah, a gold would be enough to cover that.
Okay. I suppose that and set manacles. Do they have manacles here? Blacksmith's
No.
Yeah, they wouldn't have manacles. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just take the lantern, the fuel for it, and the climber's kit.
Okay.
Alright, now I notice this is a bit more expensive than the average kit. Why?
Well, it's in low supply.
Mate, I can
Right.
guarantee you this. With the way things are going to be going out in the next couple of weeks, you ain't going to get much business. I'm a reasonable bloke. 25 gold for the kit.
Here's the thing, 25 gold is what I paid for it. If I sell it to you for 25, I'm not making a profit, am I? Low
Inside.
supply. Roll an insight check.
14.
Somewhere in the ballpark of the truth, yeah.
I want to tell you, Mom, if you take it now, guarantee you, no one's going to walk in your store for a good long while. It's just going to sit there gathering dust, rusting your stuff, and then eventually it's going to go down in price regardless. Might as well sell it now while you're still in good condition.
You're right. I'd like to sell it for 28 gold.
27.
Kind of like cocks his head at you. You don't look like you're very starved for gold, but just because I'm not in the mood for arguing, 27 it is.
Hey, I'll pay the 27 for the... I'll pay just 28 for the lantern as well.
Okay.
Yep. And then he'll just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, does he sell potions?
No. No, that wouldn't be available here.
Yeah. And just check the blacksmith. Does the blacksmith have a set of manacles?
No.
Then he would just head back to the cart, and he's done.
Okay.
Guy, I have an obsession with manacles.
It's always good. It's always good to have a set of manacles. Or if you capture someone,
about this before.
I've gone on a tangent because they're important.
No one has manacles.
How many times have in a D&D game have you had to capture someone for interrogation and they got away because you tied them with a flimsy bit of rope? You need manacles. Because even if they run away, they're fucked because they can't like do anything with a set of manacles on their hands. And also very blatantly clear, if anyone sees them with a set of manacles, they're going to assume that like they're a criminal or something. It's always good to have manacles.
Fortunately, did not find any here.
Do the guard have manacles?
The gods gave you what they were told to give you, and then after that, they didn't seem very interested in holding conversation with you.
Ah, fine. I'll get my manacles. Just you watch.
God, why do I feel like you're about to steal some manacles?
I'm not gonna steal some manacles.
Out of the guard, no. So
Sorry, Amelia, what'd you say?
I made a joke.
Oh.
Mhm.
So, are you guys gonna stick around or start heading out?
Get out.
And
I'm ready
Head out then.
yeah.
Alright. And let's see here. It's been, yeah, it's a good time for a short break. So at this point, we're just gonna take a short 10-minute break as you guys head out from the town of Lazulk. So we'll go for a short, like 5 to 10 minute break. I'm gonna get a drink and be back in a bit. Sounds good?
Great.
Da.
Alright.
break time. Time to pull this. All right.
Philip, to justify my acquisition of manacles in every game. Now, if anyone's listening and you're playing a game of D&D, invest in manacles. You just do it. You'll never regret buying a set of manacles. Worst case scenario, you forget you have them, and that's fine. But when you remember you do have them, they can only be useful. Fact. Okay, my ranting's done.
What happens if your teammates accidentally kill everybody before you can slap them in manacles?
Well, then you just wait for the next chance to use your manacles. No, it's like there is no downsides to having a set of manacles on you. Never. Name
You get
one
arrested.
downside.
You get arrested, and the guards go, "Why do you have manacles on you?"
Well, that's not your manacles, is it? That's not a downside for having manacles. That's another set of manacles being put on you. And
No,
then it
no,
just shows the
guards are
usefulness of
arresting
having
you.
manacles.
Guards are arresting you. They pat you down. They
Mhm.
find some manacles. Where'd you get these manacles from?
We bought them at a blacksmith.
They then
It's
fail
not
their
illegal to have
instinct.
manacles. Yeah. Well, that's the same thing as having a sword. It's like, why do you have this sword? Well, I got it at a blacksmith to stab people. It's the same thing, but with manacles. But you just don't stab anybody. If anything, manacles are less suspicious than having a sword on you. Now, if you would have like, I don't know, mage man, you know what I'm, like I think this was a thing on like 3.5, and it was like mage manacles, because it was essentially just like an iron glove, so that wizards couldn't do ceramic components. Now, if you had a set of that on you, then that would be suspicious. Still a good use of money though, because you never know when your cap's gonna, Because let's face it, one of the most difficult things to capture as a group is a wizard, because Misty Step or teleportation or anything like that, or command or any kind of like charm person spells. It's just good to have something to stop them from casting. Now you could do it with a gag, but they might be able to worm their way out of the gag. But if that spell requires somatic components, rather than just breaking their fingers or cutting out their tongue, just put them on a nice little clasp of iron gloves. Bish bash bosh, that wizard's useless.
Or maybe you just need to get better. Maybe you just need to make your characters better at tying rope, guy.
Hey.
I
Why
think
make a why make me roll when I can just slap a pair of manacles on a guy? No rolls needed. No
Hey.
no chance for failure.
You're saying okay, manacles, but I walked in and you're talking about gags now. What are you?
No,
We're talking
We're
about
saying
wizards and
yeah.
shit. Like
Talk about
capturing
wizards. Capturing
This
wizards.
is sounding more like a sex shop that you're looking for, not a general store.
Hey, if they sell manacles, then I'll buy them.
Yeah, but like the wizard
Yeah, you
manacles, they're
can't.
not a thing in 5e.
They're
Oh.
not. You have to like commission them, or you have to make them yourself.
At that point, just get some like go buy some string, and just tie their fingers together.
You can still do smack once together with tied fingers.
Mhm.
You need something. You need something to be able to move their fingers. Now, you could do this by breaking them, but that's a bit, touchy.
If their fingers are all tied together, so that they can only move them as one, I don't think they can do somatic components.
You're going to the idea of no, you tie their fingers together. What? They're just there. I don't know. Put a mark on them or something. That would make this all better.
A mark?
What?
Like Hunter's mark or something.
Well, no, it's not. It's not about like tracking them or find them. It's about so they don't like escape.
Get away
full
in the
stop.
first
Yeah.
place.
Now, with wizards, they can do like Misty Step and Dimension Door and Teleport and Charm Person and things like that. Now, a good number of those require somatic components. I think Misty Step only requires verbal, though. So usually you still almost like it's another piece of D&D advice. If you capture yourself a wizard's warlock or anything, always gag him. That's number one rule. It's just what you do.
Use the person with the highest dexterity so that they can have the better sleight of hand roll.
Now, you either do that or you do the murder hobo technique and you just remove the tongue.
I mean, that is not murder, though. That's
No.
just violence.
That's just violence, but it's also kind of sadistic. I mean, come on. I actually was in a group. Once.
Don't you dare pretend like you have a problem with sadism, guy. Don't you dare.
I don't have a problem with sadism. I'm just saying it could be a bit iffy. A little bit. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. I was once in a group. It didn't last that very long. I was only there for a few sessions. But we essentially captured what was like a cultist wizard. Or I think it was a sorcerer, actually. And one of the party members suggested that we just cut off his tongue. This was the monk of the group. And everyone was like, oh, that's a great idea. And I was like, wait a minute, we're gonna cut his tongue off? But wouldn't that kill him? And lo and behold, it did. So, lesson of the day, if you're gonna cut someone's tongue off, make sure you have a hot piece of iron to cauterize the wound afterwards.
Or fire.
Or
Or just do it properly.
or be nice and ask them questions and not make them want to run away.
Well, I mean, if they're captured to begin with, I don't think they want to be. I think they want to run away just instinctively.
Yes. But
And Stockholm Syndrome takes time to set in properly.
There is an alternate if you do want to still do the sadistic shit.
I'm not saying we do it, I'm just saying it's an option.
I'm saying there's another option if you want to do sadistic stuff and not gag them.
Mm-hmm.
Just sew their mouth shut and then cut it back open when they're when you're
God.
ready.
Yeah, it's... No, that's fair, yeah.
That is.
How about you, Millie? You got any sadistic ways to make a wizard not be able to speak?
my mouth shut.
Millie's just like, nope, not answering that.
All right, before we get demonetized.
Oh, that's alright. That's too late for that, Millie.
Well,
No,
we were
no,
never
it's
monetized to begin with, so.
We didn't have monetization in the first place. What are you talking about?
You know,
We can say whatever we want.
No, I was looking at the.
Responsible.
Honey, I don't have.
No, I was looking at the analytics and excluding all the end times because it's all for some reason copyright striked. Luke.
Well, When I use non-copyright music, screw off.
No, it keeps getting copyright striked. But anyway, excluding end times, we actually have made 15 cents. Except it's
Hey,
not enough for us to
15 cents.
take out any money. But the thing is that, and we're not a partner, so we can't take out any money. But over Twitch and YouTube, we totally made 15 cents in ad. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Nice.
What do we keep getting like copyright claimed on?
It's the music that you use.
Wait, what ones precisely? Because if I know, I won't.
Here, I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Since we're still on break, really quickly.
Because I thought, like, because you didn't bring it up, I thought, like, I changed because I think I was using Darkest Dungeons combat for combat music, and I thought that was the problem.
No,
So I thought, since you didn't bring it back up, that was the problem.
1 second. I'll tell you in just a second here. Just
Yeah.
navigate to YouTube Studio. Let's see here. Where is dashboard? No, go to videos. Okay, so every end times video has a copyright claim. See details. Medieval Whispers, Dark Halls of Ice, all on TuneCore. It's monetized in some territories. Yeah, it's basically it is not actually royalty-free music. It is music that needs to be licensed. Basically, whoever's telling you that it's royalty-free music is lying to you.
Groovy's lying to me. That's what. Right. So it's the background music I use. It's the
Yeah,
fantasy thing.
it's Medieval Whispers, then Dark Halls of Ice, and then Sanctuary of Winter for the most recent one. That's for Fires of War. Then for King's Ransom, let me see. King's Ransom is like every single piece of music that you used. It's all, again, TuneCore. It's apparently just not royalty free, even though it says it is.
Bullshit. Oh well.
Yeah,
And I don't particularly care. It's just like I thought I fixed that, but whatever.
it's fine.
So, like,
It is what it is.
so
I
I can
use
make any money.
I use Incomtech and David MacLeod, which doesn't lead to copyright strikes because he's just like, you know what, use my shit.
Yeah, you know what? After this, would you mind sending me this shit so I can like go through it and find anything? Just find
Sure.
stuff I need.
Sure,
Cool.
we'll do. All right, and on that note, let's get back. So break time's over. Party, you have just set out west of Lozalk, and you are beginning on this long journey. What would you like to do? And how would you like to proceed? What pace would you like to set? And how would you like to manage your journey? Choices are yours.
I have
Alright.
one quick question here.
Yes.
What is? I'm assuming the difference between these like what look like yellow roads and white roads is that like the yellows are like main roads.
Yeah, so in military terms, the yellow roads are MSR's main service roads, and the white roads are ASR's auxiliary service roads. So yellow roads are well-traveled, used very often. Some of them might even be paved with stone. They are designed for carts. They are wide, sometimes even like 2 lanes, so you can go forward in one direction and backwards in the other, and so on and so forth. White roads are thinner. They are typically less cared for. They might just be roads of incidents where a lot of people cross that section, and because of that, the ground no longer grows green, and then you have a road. So it might be just paths that have eventually turned into roads. But yeah, that's the difference.
Right. I think we kind of want to get through this as quickly as possible. So, at least on the main roads, is we're going to travel at probably faster than average, kind of pushing the horses a wee bit. Not to the point where they're going to be exhausted by day's end, but going at a decent speed.
Okay. Fair enough. And you do have a rudimentary map that you've had with you since you left Periphery. that is effectively the map that you see on Roll20 in front of you. This is basically what you have, right? It's the southern end of Jormungandr and mainly Verlis and Regal Conservation of Pearl. Because, I mean, your original objective was like, we are fleeing to Verlis, so you grabbed a map of Verlis, effectively. And that's what you have right now. And this is the amount of detail that you have on the map on your person. So you head directly on this road. The first couple days, it's a fairly simple journey to the crossroads. You pass by a couple merchants along the road that seem to be just kind of having some issues with the carts or whatever. But for the most part, on this pace, other than the odd overtake because of how quickly you're going, nothing particularly important seems to really happen. The river gets thinner and thinner as it almost disappears into the lands around you, and you're not entirely sure what that phenomenon is. But after a while, you are in dry Greenland, heading closer and closer to a much, well, for lack of a better term, greener pasture. The western end of Verlis is at a slightly higher elevation than the eastern, but because of its southern kind of temperament and temperature, it's slightly warmer. However, on the third day of your travel, make a perception check, whoever is driving the cart.
I think Dane's the only one with actual vehicle land proficiency.
Go ahead.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good thing my wisdom is probably the highest of the group as well.
Mhm.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
You see in the distance, 300, 400 feet ahead of you, what is undoubtedly a group of armed individuals standing around a cart on the road. Not quite sure what they're doing from here. You see 7 of them.
So we can't really get on much detail, but just know that there are armed men around the caravan. Shite. I think I would stop the horses. Do I feel like they've seen us, or?
Probably not. You're quite far away from where they are.
And then I would kind of like just turn around, look into the cover section, says, right, either we've got some bandits ahead of us, or, I don't know, Jormungandr soldiers. What do you want to do? We want to face them head on? We want to start chucking stuff at them from far away and make them run to us? We know what's the skinny? What we do?
They're soldiers. We might be able to get past them. If they're bandits, then it might be more of a gamble.
We could take some bandits.
How many of them are there?
7.
Hmm.
What do we do? Try going around them? Fight them?
There a way around them?
Is there a way
Yeah.
around them?
Not in concealment. It is fairly open Greenland. There's no real definite to hide behind. You could try to go around them, but it'd be pretty fucking obvious.
It'd be obvious, and then we'd be essentially stuck on off terrain.
Yeah.
So it's arguably, if we're gonna fight them, might as well fight them on the actual road.
Might just go see if they're soldiers and let's hopefully walk right through them.
Yeah, I guess. I say we get closer, and then once we begin to see some detail, then we can make a bit more educated decision. So say we're about 300, 400 feet away?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we'd get 120, within 120 feet of them, and see if we can get any more detail off them.
Okay.
Before
You-
that
Yeah.
happens, Lark is going to change her face so she does
Yeah, I was
not
gonna
look
say,
like
yeah.
Lark.
Okay, what do you look like?
So
See what?
probably just change everything to be whatever opposite of hers.
Okay,
So instead of having white hair, she has black hair, so on and so forth.
fair enough. Okay. Within 120 feet, they have spotted you at this point. No aggressive movements. Several people looking up, like yelling at each other, saying like, "Hey, there's someone coming," so on and so forth. But they don't seem to be moving quickly or aggressively. They are armed, and as you get closer, you do recognize them to be soldiers of some sort. You recognize them as Jormungandr. One of them kind of stops the guy. "Oh there! What's your business in these parts?"
These are Jormungandr soldiers, sorry, or not?
They're not. They don't look like Jormungandr soldiers. No, they look Verlisian.
Oh, cool. Just traveling.
Hey, might want to take a look at what happened to this other cart here. You probably want to be a bit safer on this road.
I'd get off the cart. Look at there. This is one that I gathered around.
The horse, a single horse cart. The horse is ripped in half. Its hindquarters about 20 feet behind its forequarters, where the head seems to have been ripped off and is missing. The fore section of the horse seems to have been dragged from the cart, which is overturned now that you look at it, and is a good bit ahead, and you see claw marks in the ground all around. And this cart is, well, somehow mainly untouched, other than the fact that it's been turned over, but nobody who seems to be the owner of it or such is in sight. Soldiers also be scratching their heads, just kind of looking at this situation. You can see a bit further down the road, you see their own cart. It appears that they were just traveling in this other direction. You make any sense of this?
Don't know. By Onville, this is brutal.
There's a third one if you
Dolls.
count it. There's a third one we've
Third
seen.
one?
Yeah, from the crossroads. We're actually coming down from Hozirliets, and we heard of an attack south of our town. Headed out to investigate. Found one south of the town. Went to the crossroads, found one there. Decided to head east to see if Lozilk knows anything, and found one right here. Same thing. Horses mutilated, people missing, carts untouched.
Could I attempt a nature or something to see if I know anything that would do this?
Yes. Oh, you want to see if you know anything that would do this? Well,
Yeah, like not looking at like the horse specifically, just like what in general does Dane know that could rip a horse in half and takes people?
make a
It does look like that-
nature
it
check.
looks like they've been it looks like they've been taken rather than kills here.
Okay.
Nature or both of them are intelligence, and I have a -1 to both of those. So, I guess I'll go nature.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one I could choose?
It was just nature. I don't know what you were thinking.
Nature. Yeah. Nature. 13 -1, so 12.
12. Not entirely sure. Claw marks seem off, and just this isn't enough information. You need to get more information before you be like fairly certain on what's happening here.
Is there any odor?
Odor. I mean, the horse is dead and it stinks. Other than that, make a perception check. Ulysses, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, is there anything in the car?
Make an investigation check.
It's a flat roll. 15.
15. In the cart seems to be simple merchant produce, nothing particularly important. Seems to have just been foodstuffs like potatoes and stuff heading from Lozilk to probably in this direction, Hozirals or Verlis.
Okay, good. So it's not that guy that I bought the bear pelt from.
No.
That's all I wanted to know.
It's a 14 for perception.
14 perception. Smells interesting. You smell a musk and oil. But with your 14 perception, as you're looking around and sniffing, you do see what looks to be something black, like within the grass, a bit away from the road. You can't quite tell what it is. The grass is obscuring some of it, but you do see something black in there.
Go over investigate.
you find about a foot and a half long, completely black, like the midnight of like a moonless sky. A feather.
How big is the feather?
A foot and a half long.
Foot and a half. Jesus. I'll kind of bring it back to the guards and say, "Know any birds this big?"
And a couple of the guards like look at that and go white. No fucking clue. But that's massive. Now
I mean,
you.
if I was you,
Mm-hmm.
I'd go and warn the towns that there's some big thing attacking people on the street, on the roads.
It kind of nods for a second. Yeah, that's probably the best idea. Oi, you there! And like points to the other guards, and what he does is effectively, since they have a cart, he sends a couple of guards on one of the horses off, gives them instructions to speed to Lozelk, and tells the other guards that they're turning around to Hozulets. But before they leave, they begin like digging a grave for the horse and trying to set the cart upright and stuff like that. But yeah, they begin to busy themselves with this work.
You know, good luck to you lads.
Right, yeah, stay safe. Don't get eaten by a giant fucking bird.
I'll try my damnedest. Walk back to the cart. Say, "Alright, there's a big fucking bird in the sky probably attacking the carts. Look at the fucking size of this feather."
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, now that you get back up and you step up on the cart, you look around you, and there are a lot more of these feathers. It's just a bit obscured by the grass, but you can definitely spot out like about 20 or so more around this entire area.
Damn. Right, I think let's travel for a bit longer and then let's find a nice dense bit of woods to camp in.
Yeah. Sounds like the best idea.
On that note, make a perception check.
Oh, is this like a plain?
Yeah, it's a plain.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any at least from where we are now and how much light we have left? Is there any outcroppings that could be slightly more advantageous against a flying enemy?
So back the way you came is the woods around Lozelk. Now where you are, this is fairly deep into the plains. And ahead of you, probably by the end of the day, you'd reach the crossroads. From your map, you can actually see that past the crossroads, so if you were going to keep heading west, there is a wooded area, but it would be another 2 to 3 hours journey past the crossroads.
Right. A bit of extra travel and then we might be a bit safer at night. What do you say?
Yeah. All right.
Right, here we go then.
Alright. So as you begin to set off, how are you going to be, now with the knowledge that there might be an aerial threat, how are you proceeding?
I think
Watching the sky.
yeah, I think we would probably have either Ulysses or Lark out in the front with Dane, and the other one who is ever not in the front is essentially peering out from the back of the cart, keeping
Okay.
a constant eye up in the sky, while Dane's kind of focusing on the road.
Alright, so Ulysses and...
At least that's what he suggests.
Alright. If that is what you guys are gonna do, then Ulysses and Lark roll me separate perception checks.
Okay.
17.
I got a nat one.
Oh,
Lark, it's bright out. And your eyes kind of hurt. And honestly, you've been through a fuck ton the past week or so, and there's a lot on your mind other than a big black bird. Can't quite seem to focus. Ulysses, you're looking around. You, corner of your eye, you swear to God you see a distant, tiny, tiny, tiny black speck in the sky, somewhere west of you, so in the direction you're heading. But the moment you think you see it, it's gone. That's all you see.
Something was built there.
Someone there? Shite.
Seems to be gone for now.
Right, well, keep your eyes open. I'm gonna pick up the pace a bit so we get these woods a bit quicker.
Alright. Heading further forward, you approach the crossroads, and while the cut is no longer there, you do in fact see the area. In fact, you actually, now that you know what to look for, you start to see the feathers in the grass a good 100 feet before you actually see the blood on the ground of a bloodied horse. The horse and the cart are no longer there. There's a fresh mound of dirt not too far from the road, and you can surmise what happened. This is at the crossroads.
Right then. What time is it now?
It's starting to be sunset in a bit. There's an hour to sunset.
Right. Do we see the woods?
They are directly in the direction you're already heading, so instead of turning left or right at this T-junction, you're going off-road for a bit.
Yeah, going off roads into the woods.
Okay. An hour of travel on a very rickety cart, because now you're off-road. It's no longer a smooth ride, it's hard to stay still. And the sun begins to set. So you guys are approaching the edge of the woods. Begin to hear in the sky after about an hour and a half of travel. Very, very distant calls of raspy, unearthly. If Shadow had a sound, this is what it would sound like. At least that's what you tell yourself. Make a perception check, Lark and Ulysses. At disadvantage because of night.
Dark vision?
Dark vision only goes out to so far.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I only have 60 feet of
15
it.
both times.
Say what, Lark?
15 both times. Like, just a 15.
I also have a 15 at disadvantage.
15 at
Yes.
disadvantage?
I rolled the same thing twice.
Okay. So, with that 15 at disadvantage, you can vaguely make out the shape of a large creature directly due east of you. And it's descending. Moving in your direction. What would you like to do?
How far is it?
It's hard to tell. It's dark, but at least a mile.
Just wanted to make sure it wasn't like very close to us. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
go fast.
But why?
Things come.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like whip the horses into.
Make an animal handling check for me,
rounds.
Dane.
All right. Handle animal is wisdom. All right then. Okay, so 13.
13. They already going as fast as they can, but they start to move a bit more earnestly. Not necessarily faster, but definitely putting a bit more effort into it. It's gaining on you. It's about somewhere between 700 to 800 feet away.
That's too close.
It's too close.
Give me the bear pelt.
Okay. I can't see the bear pelt.
I'm gonna get to like the back of the cart. I'm gonna be prepared to fucking throw this thing in the opposite direction when it gets close to us.
At this point, you begin to hear a very interesting sound. You start hearing this almost like the sound at if you would ever hear a artillery incoming or a bomb dropping, this high-pitched whirring sound as this creature is diving faster and faster. You hear this whistling sound in the air, and you know in your bones you have 4 rounds before it's on you. So, roll initiative.
Ah, shite. Alright, 16 for Dane.
16, alright.
3 for Lark.
Oof. Ulysses?
Another nat one.
50.
15, alright. Top of the round, Dane, what are you doing?
Bugger me sideways. So, if the bird's roughly 4 rounds from us, how far away from me are from like the edge of the woods?
You are nowhere near. You're not gonna reach it in 4 rounds.
Okay. Could we reach it? No, because it would take time to detach the horses.
Okay, so the thing is, the way the woods are, right? It's not like it's a very clear line of a forest and then it's just green. There are sporadic spots of trees here and there, and you are going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of a bunch of trees in 3 rounds. But for you to actually be in the thick itself where you would feel comfortable, that's going to be over like 20 rounds. That's going to be like a couple minutes.
Okay, but there's like a small outcropping which could give us some cover at least.
Well, you don't see one yet, but you can try to spot one if you would like.
Right. Think, Dane, think. Okay. Could abandon the cart and try and run the horses. Then use the cart. No, I think Dane would attempt to keep steering the cart and looking for, I guess it was like not the thicket because he can't get to the woods, but like somewhere where he could say get behind a tree, so the cart won't get hit by the bird. That's his aim at least.
Right. Okay, make a perception check.
17.
17. You do in fact see a small thicket of about 3 or 4 trees that, based on where this creature is, you're fairly sure you can get the cart right there, so the creature's gonna hit a tree and not you.
Yeah, so Dane is essentially seeing that. He'll begin, probably on his next turn,
Okay.
driving towards that, because I assume this is my whole turn.
Well, no, the cart has its turn, which goes at initiative count 15.
Cool. Then
Yeah.
yes, I'm leading the cart that way.
Okay, excellent. So initiative count 15. Dane, you have control of the cart. It's heading that way. Got it. Ulysses, what are you doing?
No, what? How long does this last?
How long does the what last?
I was looking at a spell.
Oh,
See
okay.
how long it lasts.
By the way, the creature is 600 feet away from you at this moment, and it is moving at 150 feet per round.
It's a fast
Okay.
bird.
It's diving,
Real fast.
yeah.
I know, yeah. It's still a fast bird.
Thanks, boy.
In preparation for this bird, I'm casting Shield of Faith on
Shield of Faith on who?
Lark.
Okay, Lark, you have Shield of Faith. Anything else you're doing on your turn, Ulysses?
I mean, okay, so that's a bonus action, so I guess I'll just hold my action to throw this bear pelt if the bird gets too close.
Okay, fair enough. Lark, your turn.
Yeah, I think Lark's.
Oh, sorry. Between Ulysses and your turn, the bird goes. It is now 450 feet.
Okay. Lark's gonna hold her ground where she is now. If Dane's gonna do the cart.
All right.
So she'll just, yeah, holding with her sword ready.
All right. Next, Dane, top of the round.
Still heading towards those trees.
Still heading towards those trees. You have your own turn besides the cart. Anything you want to do?
Oh yeah,
I guess I'm gonna cast Bless on all of us.
Okay. Got you. Start taking note of the round timer for Bless.
So Bless is
Bless is 10 rounds, yes?
10 rounds, yes.
Okay. Alright. I got a round timer going for Bless. Shield of Faith is how many rounds?
Well, it's 10 minutes at
So
concentration.
100 rounds.
Okay, so yeah, until you lose
100 rounds.
concentration. Got it. Alright. I've got Bless for 10 rounds. Alright. Awesome. Anything else you're doing?
Well, that's Bless. Bless is an action. I don't think I have many bonus actions. No, I'm a paladin exactly. No, just I'm gonna cast Bless all of us, and then I don't know. Panic.
Okay.
Panic. Yeah, panic. I'm gonna
Panic.
Panic.
Panic. Action panic.
Initiative count. Panic is a bonus action, yes.
Yeah.
Initiative count 15. The cart continues hitting, is turning even more now, is 1 round away from burying itself in that thicket. Ulysses, your turn.
I'm still readying this bear pelt.
Fair enough. Anything else you're doing?
It's because they're all concentration.
Alright. The bird gets closer. I keep saying bird. It's not a fucking bird, but regardless. It gets closer. It's now 300 feet.
Okay.
Lark.
Yeah, 300 feet. Question on Smite. Could I cast that? No, it stays up for 1 minute. So I'll cast Smite on myself.
What Smite?
Thunderous Smite.
Thunderous Smite. Got it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So it's ready.
Getting ready. Got it. I like it. Alright. Top of the round. Dane.
Right. Yeah. Oh god. Well, he's gonna maintain Bless, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And what's my channel divinity? Let's just check what that does again. Conquer presence.
I love the panic in your voices.
Yeah, well, it's a big. Fuck. What I'm scared about is this thing picking us up. That's what I'm scared about. Yeah. So, oh god. I guess I will maintain concentration and continue controlling the cart. That's all I can do.
Alright. Initiative count 15. The cart gets into the thicket, and you manage to maneuver it such that both the horse and the cart are behind this group of like 3 or 4 trees, and the bird's gonna have to hit tree before it hits the cart. However, you also get the feeling that it's committed into this dive pretty much at this point without being able to swerve out in time. So that might work in your favor. 15.
Okay,
Ulysses, what are you doing?
Still preparing this bear pelt.
Nothing else?
No.
Okay.
It's not
Between Ulysses and Lark's turn, this creature finally now comes within 150 feet. And as it spreads its wings, this time after having this dive, trying to slow down, looking at the trees in front of it, not slowing down successfully, you see this massive creature, this gargantuan creature. It has the head of a, what almost looks like a bird with an interesting plumage around its head, midnight black feathers, but then a scaly body. You see reptilian legs, large wings, and a tail that seems to be animated on its own of some sort. You see a fairly purplish black chest area and these blood red 2 sets of eyes, so 4 eyes in total, 2 on each side, angled and angular, staring at you with hatred. Now that it's closer, you can see it is wreathed in shadow. It is no natural creature. And it is now 150 foot away, about to make impact. Next turn. Lark, what would you like to do?
150 feet. It's not close enough. You know what? I'll hit it with a longbow.
Longbow?
Yeah.
So you're gonna Thunderous Smite Longbow? All right, roll a hit.
What is that actually? Sorry. Trying to calculate in my head. Quick math. A 16 hit?
16.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hits.
Oh, it hit. Okay, cool. Make a difference.
Just hits. It just hits.
Okay. That's that, and then I have to add Thunderous Smite to it. Okay. That is 19 damage.
19?
Yeah.
Okay. What type of damage is it?
Thunder?
Thunder. I'm pretty sure thunder damage.
All right. How much of that 19 is piercing, and how much of it is thunder?
It is 7 piercing, 12 thunder.
7 piercing, 12 thunder. Got it.
Mhm.
All right. Your attack hits, and you see as the arrow explodes, seems to leave a mark, but still barreling towards you.
Mhm.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah. it's
You
not
have a second
great.
attack.
Oh, we do at this level? Cool.
Level 5, yeah.
Oh yeah, then the same thing again.
Okay.
I'll just do plain longbow, so. Let's see.
All right. So just plain longbow, roll to hit.
24?
24 hits.
And that is 6 damage.
6 damage. Got it. 6
Yeah.
piercing. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hits. And deals damage. End of your turn. Dane. What are you doing?
Right. First thing, he's getting out of the cart.
Okay.
He does not want to be in this thing when it hits.
Okay.
He is going to cast Armor of Agathist on himself at 2nd level.
Armor of Agathis at 2nd level. Got it. I believe that is 10 hit points and... Correct?
Yeah, 10. Yeah, so I get 10 temporary hit points, and every time it hits me, it will
Yeah.
take
10 cold damage. Yeah, got it.
And it's not concentration, which I didn't realize until I read the spell.
Armor of Agathis is an amazing spell, yeah.
It's a fantastic spell. I love it. Yeah, so I'm gonna cast that on myself, and I guess I'm ready to attack this thing, not actually holding an action because I already used my action. So, yeah,
What weapon are you having out?
I'm gonna get my shield and sword out.
Sword and shield. Got it. Alright. End of Dane's turn is the cart's turn. The cart is immobile because it has no driver. Ulysses, what are you doing?
Alright. Well, this thing's still not close enough for me to actually hit it,
Okay.
unfortunately. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hop out of this cart,
Mm-hmm.
for one.
Mhm.
Like, hey, I don't want to be inside that thing when we get hit. And I'm, you know what, at this point, I'm gonna throw that bear pelt.
Where?
Where are you throwing this bear pelt?
Just away to see if it goes after that instead of
Oh,
us.
like as a distraction. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it is animals.
Make an athletics check.
Yeah. Athletics? I'm good
Mhm.
at that.
It's something I'm decent at.
I'm good at that.
23.
23. The bear pelt lands a good 30 feet away from you.
Which is impressive because it's a bear pelt. and
It's a bear.
not, like,
so it's
tied
not
up.
bites you
Amazing.
through, yeah.
Love
Good
it.
throw.
Mm-hmm. Good throw.
See if that works.
We'll see.
I think this bird actually can't move. It's diving,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
This creature, wreathed in shadow and ebony feathers, impacts against this tree. This thicket of trees, really. Just trying to claw. You see one reptilian leg move through the trees and attempt to claw at your horse, but just barely misses. Dane, roll a d20 plus 3 for horse courage.
Sorry, D20 plus 3.
Yep, for
Right.
horse courage.
It's 13 plus 16.
16, alright. The horse is frightened, but it does not budge.
Oh, good on. I didn't name you. I shall name you if you survive.
You'll be named
Survive
Bird.
and you shall acquire a
This
title.
creature lets go of the trees that it's in and takes off. You get opportunity attacks.
Okay.
Smack it.
Yeah, hit it.
Man,
All three
That's
of
a
you
crit.
Sword.
get opportunity.
That's
to- It's a crit. Nice.
Hit it. Hit it with
Smite.
sword, please.
And I'm using Divine Smite on that bitch.
All right.
Dirty 20, and I will use Thunderous Smite
21.
again.
Thunderous Smite. Okay.
Again,
Divine
yeah.
Smite.
Divine Smite, Thunderous Smite. All right. Everybody roll your damage.
Yep.
Great.
So it's 2d8 plus a d8 from the sword plus 4. Cool.
Okay. So I'm gonna use a second level spell slot. Divine Smite.
Alright, that's
No, I'm just using my first
is
level
that?
spell. I'll save
So
myself.
that's
first level spell as well.
4, 10,
And then roll.
15,
What is that?
16,
19 damage again.
16,
22,
20.
25,
24 damage for Dane.
35. Divine Smite also gets double damage if you crit, right?
Divine Smite, yes, does double damage if you crit. And we're using standard crit rules.
Mhm.
Okay. 29, 30, 32, 33,
Holy shit.
37 damage.
37 damage. All right.
Damn.
Huh.
How much of that is radiant?
What was it? 2, 2, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay. By the way, Lark, you can't use Thunderous Smite because that's a bonus action. This is your
okay.
opportunity attack. It's not on your turn.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Okay.
can use
Divine
Divine Smite if you
Smite.
want, but you can't use
Yeah.
Thunderous.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Divine Smite then.
Divine Smite. All right. So then, Dane, what is your damage total?
24 damage.
24. What? How much is that radiant? Break it down for me in radiant.
12 slashing, 12 radiant.
Okay, melee.
It's the same either way for me, so it's 19.
19. How much? How much was radiant?
19.
19. 9?
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, other way.
Okay, so 9 slashing, 10 radiant.
Yes.
Okay, so basically this creature slams into the trees, realizes that it can't get at this cart, kind of backs off with a big beat of its wings, just woof, and raises itself just a little bit, and using that opportunity, that brief moment when it's retreating, all three of you just whack it, and 3 divine explosions, 3 divine smites just explode off in it. And you notice it takes a considerable amount more damage than you expected it to from the radiant damage. It is hurt. Not, it doesn't look very hurt, but it is hurt and it is upset. And as it's hit, rears and it gets this screech and it looks down. This shadow just dripping off of its body 50 feet off the ground as it's flapping its wings and looks down, head looking at the cart of the horse. Then suddenly you see its movements almost freeze in place for a split second. And then suddenly it looks at you, Lark. Hello. That's the end of its turn. It's your turn, Lark.
The bird talks. Oh no.
The
Bird talks. The bird
Oh
talks.
no. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't care for that shit at all.
Okay. Lark's gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the bird.
Okay,
Sorry,
just
there.
just to be clear, it's not a bird. You know, I'll
Yeah,
just I'll just tell you what the name of this is. This is a shadow raven.
Okay.
It's
Right,
it's
I'm
a
gonna get a picture, not look at stats. I'm just gonna post that in chat so people know what I'm
it's not no, it's a homebrew.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go find like a shadow raven.
Fair
because
enough.
I want to picture what this is.
I am picturing a thunderbird, as they are everywhere in Oregon. Just imagery of thunderbird. So that's what I think it looks.
Description, my initial thought went to manticore.
No, it's not a manticore.
I know it's not,
I-
but initial
yeah.
description I thought it was.
Mhm.
Thinking indigenous thunderbirds. Okay. Hunter's Mark.
Okay, Hunter's
and
Mark.
then, You said it's 50 feet away, didn't you?
50.
In the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the air. Okay. Then longbow.
Longbow. All right.
Because I can't hit it with a sword.
Roll to hit.
Da-da-da-da. Roll, please. I'm trying to use the D&D Beyond thing now. I thought it was interesting. It's not working. Oh, whatever. I'm rolling my own. That is a 14.
14.
Mhm.
Doesn't hit.
Hit. Okay.
Its AC is 16. 1-6.
Mhm.
You have a second attack, by the way.
Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm not
Yeah, I was like, it's like waiting for you to say like I'm gonna roll again, but nope.
Yeah, roll again. That's a nat 20.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, it
There we
hits.
Smite?
Are you gonna smite? You can't divine smite, but you can bonus action smite if you want to. Oh wait, you already hunter smite. No, smite.
Yeah,
No
I can.
smite.
Yes, I'm just. Where's my D? 8. That's an 8.
8 points of damage. Did you double it?
Not yet. No. That's another 8 from me just rolling. So actually, it should be 20 points of damage.
2-0.
Plus 2 to that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. 20 points of piercing damage. Piercing damage. Is your bow magical?
Nope.
Doesn't seem to do as much. All right. Next, we are back to Dane.
Right. So this bird is off the ground. Can I still hit with my sword, or is it like out of my range?
No, it's 50 feet off the ground, directly above you.
So I can still hit it.
No, it's 50. You can't hit it with your sword.
Oh, this is 5. Okay. Oh god, I guess javelin.
All right.
2 javelins.
2 javelins. Got it. Roll both.
2 javelins. One is a 15 and one is an 18.
Okay. The 15 doesn't hit. The other one hits.
Cool. D6. 10 points of damage, max. Nice.
Nice. 10 points of piercing damage.
Not
Again,
magical, though.
yeah, not magical. Doesn't seem to do as much. End of your turn, Ulysses. Oh wait, before that, roll. No, horse didn't get attacked this turn. You're fine. All right, Ulysses.
Cool.
Cool. You said earlier it took more damage than we thought from the.
From radiant.
Radiant.
Yeah, it seems to take more radiant damage.
Cool. Guiding bolt.
Rolls a hit.
That is an 18.
1-8.
Yes.
Okay, hits. Roll damage.
That is 13 damage.
1-3. Got it. All right. Again, hits hard. It seems like it's taking more damage than you expect it to again, and you're like, yeah, this thing doesn't like radiant damage, and it is also glowing now. And now that it's glowing, you can actually see its form. It is not actually that big. The wings aren't actually as big as you would expect. The feathers are large enough, like it is gargantuan, right? But a large part of how big it looks is just the shadow that's dripping off of it, making its wings look even bigger than they should be. Yep. End of your turn. It is this creature's turn, and it's going to move back 10 feet laterally, and then I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw as it rears up. You see its chest kind of glow this deep crimson red for just a second, and it exhales this cone of necrotic energy, black with red lightning streaking all around it.
17.
1-7.
1-7.
Lark.
18. 1-8.
1-8. And Ulysses.
19.
All right. Ulysses and Lark. Ulysses and Lark save. Dane does not.
Oh, what? Oh, scheiße. Alright, well, hit me, daddy. Don't give it to me.
Where is that? Oh, there it is.
Do me dirty.
Expected to say.
Hit me, daddy. Define expectations.
Dane, you take 31 points of necrotic damage.
Holy.
Ulysses and Lark, you both take 15.
Thank
Alright.
Christ I used Armor of Agathist.
He gets hit with 10 points of cold damage, yes?
Only melee attacks.
Oh, only melee. Okay, so Armor of Agathis is done.
Oh no, it's still up, I think.
No, once it takes, so your temp HP is
yeah,
gone,
yeah,
it's done. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
But I mean, you get the 10 HP. 10 HP. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, that saved me.
Yeah.
I'm not bloodied yet.
yeah. So
Not very close.
15 points of necrotic to the two of you, 31 to you, and then it then begins. You see this red kind of crackling energy kind of building up around its body, and a small kind of shield begins to form around it, and it seems to be charging up, but it is staying there, still 50 feet off the ground, 10 foot away from you, staying exactly where it is. I need the horse to roll a dex save. So Dane, roll a d20 and add 4.
Oh god, poor horse. No, it's a 9.
Horse is dead.
Nine?
So
Horse is
9.
dead.
9 plus 4, so 13.
Horse is dead.
Oh no. Sir Clopsalot. I was gonna name you Sir Clopsalot. Poor boy.
Alright. Top of the round, Dane, it's your turn.
No, Clopsalot. So this bird's fucking back up in the air again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it hasn't come down.
Yeah, I don't have that many combat spells actually, because I'm a support character in our group. Okay, I'm going to cast. What am I gonna do? Oh shit, we all have bless. I have bless.
Oh, yeah.
We could add a D4.
Yeah, add a d4. Well, then you would save it no matter what. So you
Yay.
take 15 points instead.
Oh, wonderful. 14 more hit points.
That being said, thanks for reminding me. Roll a concentration check. So roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah. Well, woman, I still
Oh,
don't
I
have
have to do that
some of my
too,
arg.
'cause I
Yeah,
still-
obviously.
I believe I do as well for Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
We all do.
Con save.
That
Yeah, it's
15
a six.
damage. What's the?
Yeah.
It's 10. You
It's
need to
like
pass 10. All of you need to pass
Oh.
10.
Yeah,
Well, I got
I
a
got 14.
20. So
12.
Yeah, you're all fine.
Oh, Christ! Thank God I'm blessed. Oh. I didn't bless the horse, so. Damn it.
No.
That was my failing. Okay, in that case, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay. At what level?
Well, I only have second level, so second level.
Okay, second level spiritual weapon.
And it is 60 feet away from me, so I cast the sword right next to it. So essentially, what summons is this long sword covered in blood. That's simple, actually.
Sure.
That gets summoned next to the bird, and it's gonna then attack.
Sure. Roll your attack.
So it's a +6 to hit. Let's put a spell cast in. Oh yeah, that hits. It's 23.
Yeah, it hits.
D8. 4 plus 7 points of force damage.
Okay. As you hit it with, is it force or radiant?
It's force damage for a
Spiritual weapon? Is force? Really?
Yeah. It's strange, I know, but it's force damage.
Could have sworn it was radiant.
No, so did I. I mean, it's probably in the spiritual name, but no, it's force damage.
Well, regardless, it's still enough damage. What happens is, as you hit it this time, by the way, do you roll at advantage because of guiding bolt?
I do.
Okay.
Let me just check. Nah,
No, not 20? Alright, sure. Alright, so as you hit it, the guiding bolt glow dissipates, but at the same time, with this bit of damage you just dealt, the shadow dissipates as well. And what is left, you see this creature, again, a bit more naked this time, still the 4 eyes, the glow beginning to flicker a little bit. It seems like some part of its warding has now dissipated. Alright, next, no turn for the cart because the horse is dead. Ulysses, your turn.
guiding ball.
Guiding bolt, hit it.
tried and true.
+6. That is dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That will hit, yes, roll damage.
18.
18. How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
It's like 36. Yeah, no, that's more than enough.
Oh,
Outside of the shroud, it only had 30 hit
Yeah.
points.
okay. Holy shit. God, I'm now disappointed I did this with Guiding Bolt because killing with the spell isn't that dramatic. Fuck. Okay. Summon. God, I haven't even pulled my sword out. No, I did pull my sword out. I probably just stabbed it into the ground. Sword stabbed into the ground next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just has ball of radiant light appear in his hand and flings it at the beast. And it's radiant, but I'm gonna say it runs it through.
Fair enough. This like basically radiant energy hits it and implodes within this creature. It immediately falls out of the sky and falls to the ground, unable to keep its wings flapping any longer. And as the light begins to go out of its eyes, just ever so slightly moves its head, looks directly at you, Lark, and goes, "Resourceful. I'll see you soon, Lark." And the life leaves its body.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Could we
So the-
all hear that, or could only Lark hear?
All of you could hear it.
Oh,
Okay.
Christ, then. Fucking bitch
Mm-mm.
bird. So
And that
does it
is the end
disappear?
of initiative.
Cool. Does it disappear or does like the body drop?
What do you mean?
Like did like dissipate? Like
No, the
appear in
body's
or
there.
did-
The body's there.
I see.
But now the body begins to shift, and what was this grotesque creature of shadow now just turns into a giant eagle. It slowly shifts back. It's just a giant eagle dead on the ground.
Oh, that bitch. Your stepmom's trying to do you some magic MacGuffin to try and kill us.
I
Boys.
did not think this is the level she was gonna go.
Oh, that's fucking absolutely diabolical. Well, we lost Cyclops a lot, but
Mhm.
we did find ourselves dinner.
Are you talking about eating the horse
I-
or the bird?
Yeah.
Both. Don't I mean, why leave the to rest? You know, butcher it, get yourself a horse hide, some good meat, and some bird, some poultry with your, with your horse. I'm trying to look on the bright side here. I just lost one of my favorite horses.
It was. That bird was
It-
definitely imbued with necrotic energy, and you want to eat it?
Yeah, I'm not eating that damn
You,
bird.
you
Not
cook it
even
through,
that.
it should be fine.
I don't
Nothing
trust
worse.
you at all on that.
Well,
And-
I'll take
out.
the first bite, and if it's bad, then we'll chuck it. If it's worst case scenario.
I mean, worst case
Mm.
scenario is you get a fuck ton of necrotic energy poured into you and you die.
Yeah. Hey, Yule, how do you feel about going on this adventure alone, or without him?
Fine. I won't eat the fucking bird. I guess we have enough horse.
We have 2 weeks of rations.
Yeah, but those are dry.
Yeah.
This is meat.
Also, at this point, Ulysses, make an intelligence check for me.
Oh, freaking hell. I am the smartest. Still a plus.
You are, yes. This
Five.
is the smartest.
I
Five.
mean, a 0. You're the best.
5.
5.
5. Do you roll a 5?
I rolled a 5.
Dane, make a survival check for me.
Survival.
Mhm.
9.
Fuck it, it's enough. It's like, at this point, I'm like, fuck it. It's not that hard to figure it out. You had 2 weeks of rations for a 2-week cart journey on road. However, your horse is
No, we have
dead.
horses. We have horses.
And you had 1 horse.
We had a singular
do.
horse.
You had one
We had
horse.
one horse.
What? 1 minute.
Oh,
Dane snaps his fingers,
forgot.
and a horse appears.
Okay, fair enough.
Fine,
We all have fine,
Steve.
Steve.
I actually
Yes.
don't.
There we
You
go.
don't? Oh.
No.
And you're like, that problem is
Goodbye.
solved.
Yeah, question
Oh,
to
wait.
you.
Yeah.
Can I flavor that my mount
Mm-hmm.
looks like a warg?
Sure.
Same stats, just it looks like a warg. So I'm a pale orc wearing a warg.
Sure. Fucking find your oaken shield and kill him. Sure. But
The
get
cart's not destroyed. The horse is just dead, right?
the cart's
Yeah.
not the cart is damaged, not destroyed. It's a bit rickety. It's not gonna go at full speed without a fix.
Right.
There's not
Well-
really a town nearby.
Nope.
No.
Well, worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, we bundle up as much food as we can and we go on horses, and then you can ride on back. You know.
Worst case scenario, we eat the dead horse.
Well, no, that's happening.
That's the worst case scenario. That's dinner.
That's dinner.
And we need to honor Sir Tross a lot. You know, he carried us all this way here. Let not waste.
Wait, it's not whatnot.
It's not whatnot. That being said, it is now deep into nighttime, well after sunset. You are in a thicket and off the road, and you are tired after that battle. And hurt, actually, most of you. All of you.
Yeah. So I'll
Let's
tie up.
go sleep in the woods.
Yeah, I'll tie up my warg, like using the straps from the dead horse,
Okay.
and I'll slowly, to make sure we don't damage the cart further, we'll drag it into the.
I mean, the cart is functional, but like the axles are a bit rickety, so going at full speed would probably not be the best idea. But going at normal travel speed is not going to be an issue, not for a while.
Yeah, so we'll just with the carrot, we'll just switch mounts,
Mm-hmm.
chuck the horse corpse into the carts,
Mm-hmm.
and then during the night I guess Dane will butcher and begin cooking the meat, and I guess getting the hide as well,
Fair enough.
and also reclaiming the iron from the shoes.
Okay.
Go collect a few arrows. Yeah.
Get my javelins back as well, actually.
Yeah. That
You
works.
have your
Yeah,
So,
my
I
javelins.
didn't throw
actually, too.
anything.
You didn't do anything.
Through
Yeah,
magic.
you got my arrows. You got your.
Can I go
javelin,
collect
fine.
my magic?
Go pick it up.
yeah, no, it doesn't work that way.
Our eagle eyes something. Eagle heart's eyes. What do we got?
I mean, if you wanna dissect it, you can. It would just take a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, if we're dissecting the horse, might as well dissect the bird.
Sure. Roll a survival check for whoever wants to vivisect the horse or the bird.
Cool. I'm gonna give myself. Oh no, I don't have guidance, but do I still have bless at this point? Would have been more than 10 minutes.
Over the course of the
Yeah.
night, probably.
Yeah.
Survival, you say?
Survival.
13.
Bless is attack rolls and saving throws, right? Not check ability
Yeah,
checks.
it's certain checks. Yeah.
Yeah. Guidance is ability checks. Okay. So how much is it?
I don't have guidance. Do I have guidance? Well, let me check about guidance. That's a cantrip. Paladins get cantrips. That's right.
No.
So, how much was
Well,
your
well-
roll?
Yeah. Are you doing the horse or the bird?
Yeah, and are you doing the
Oh,
horse or
you
the
did
bird?
the
And
horse first.
okay,
did the
and
horse
what is
first.
your roll? What is your
Like a side
roll?
thing.
What is your roll
You know,
without
it-
bless?
Yeah, you guys do this. I'm setting up the tents.
Great.
Dane, what is your
Unfair
roll?
dinner. I said 14.
Oh, okay. But that's without bless?
Oh, I gotta add bless?
No, without.
Yeah, without bless is 14.
Okay, fair enough. You do a fairly good job of carving up this horse. You're not a professional like tanner or anything like that, but you are a survivalist, so you do get a decent enough horse hide. You don't quite get it professionally to the point where even the legs are present on the hide, but the body very much you have a horse hide. It is untanned, so it's stinky, and you do not have the supplies to tan it. You also have lots of bone. I would say about another 3 days worth of usable meat, because horse meat isn't the most edible thing, but you can get, like, for the three of you, 3 days worth. That is like 9 times 3. That's 27 meals from this horse.
27 meals, hot damn.
So that is 3 days of rations for three of you. You can prepare but it would take a day before you can consume it because it needs to be dried.
Yeah. So I guess Dane would essentially he would put he'd put like a leg aside for tonight's dinner, and the rest he'd begin like carving up, and essentially just like leaving it out on like a piece of wood just to air dry essentially.
Yeah, fair enough.
Lark's gonna check out the eagle.
So
Okay.
there's 3 more
Are you-
rations each.
Yeah. Lark, are you going to be carving up the eagle or what?
I'm gonna go see if there's anything useful on the eagle.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah. Investigation? Okay. I'm not good at that, but that's a 12.
At the base of its head, on the back of its head, the base of its neck, you find a small stone implement that seems to have been embedded into its, well, head. It's got a carving on it.
Feeling this might have made it go cuckoo. For Cocoa Puffs. Okay.
I'm Coco.
Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs? Crazy for Cocoa Puffs.
Cuckoo.
I don't know
Anyways.
what's happening.
Um,
Cocoa Puffs.
can I like take it off of the bird?
You would need to carve it out, but it's possible, yes?
Sure. I'll carve it out. Sorry.
Make a survival check.
Survival to carve this thing out. My computer starts freaking out. Okay. What's my survival on? Boop. That is a 12.
Okay. You use your knife, get some leverage underneath it, start carving it out, and then you realize that you can slowly pull it out. And you can see now it has been very deliberately inserted directly into the very top of the spinal column of this creature. And as you pull it out, some spinal fluid spurts out from the pressure as you pull it out, kind of hot and slimy on your hands, and you're like, ah, this is disgusting. Pull it out, and you find this made of almost entirely smooth, black, featureless stone. A nail. Looks kind of like a thumbtack, but the thing is, it's significantly larger. Its head is larger than the first section of your thumb, so it's about that big of a head, and the nail is about 6 inches long.
Okay.
It has a intricate carving on the head and no other features other than that.
Alright. She'll take that and a handful of feathers and go back to wherever camp's being set up.
Okay, fair enough. Dane, when you're done with the horse, are you going to carve up the bird?
I mean, after Lark's done with it, I'm gonna just check it over to make sure it looks like normal bird and see if there's any like signs of it obviously being dangerous to eat.
Quite obvious, actually, because it is a giant eagle now, but you can see it seems to have been taken over with these black, purpley veins of rot. You're not entirely sure, but necrotic damage all over its body, from the wings to the breast to its underbelly, and every single section has these just veins of what seems to have been a grasp of necrotic energy just completely cover it. Its eyes completely white and clouded over, its beak open, you see the tongue hanging out, the tongue entirely black. It's not safe to eat in any way.
Yeah. So Dane would be like, yeah, nah. So I think he would just take the head of the bird in case like there might be a bounty on whatever's been attacking the caravans. Other than that, he would essentially just spend the rest of the night saying a prayer to Ilnival, thanking him for a good fight, and blessing him with the strategic advantage of those trees, and then doing a small ritual where he kind of just bloodies his sword with the blood of the bird, holding it up to the sky, and then after that he would bury the bird.
Make a charisma check, well, worship check for me.
A religion?
Charisma.
Just a straight charisma check?
Yeah, straight charisma check.
Charisma would be a 15.
A few overall some recognition of your valor as you go through this process. You feel content.
So I think after that, he would then essentially take the piece of horse that he had carved off for tonight's meal and just spit roast it.
Fair enough. And as you guys begin to make camp and set down for this night after this battle, that's where we're going to end tonight's session, and we'll pick it up next week.
Sick.
Rad.
Thank you for those who've been watching and sticking along with us for this first step of a new campaign, a new journey. I hope it's been enjoyable to watch. Hope you guys have liked it. Sorry about the audio issues. Working with a new Roll20 campaign has its well, it has its complications. But yeah, hope you enjoyed sticking with us, and we hope you will enjoy sticking with us for the future as well. So goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.